Is what you wanna say. What's up, guys? I decided, let me just go ahead and do a show. Why not? I had some things um on my heart. I feel like I need music in the background. I think I'm gonna put some royalty free YouTube music on. Just to have it in the background. And I dropped the link in the description for everybody to join if they so choose. For everybody to join if they so choose. If you want to hop on, bro, hop on and chop it up with me. Real spit. Let me put on a dope rapper. There we go. Okay. And turn it down. I don't like get in the zone. Yes. I don't like just talking and there's like dead air. I need music or something. Something. Hello. Hi guys. Oh, wrong one. How is everybody? Are you good? Are you chilling? Are you happy? Are you sad? Do you not know? Can you guys hear that? Is it louder than me? Let me know. Let me know. What's up? Christine, you're killing it. You're on Facebook and YouTube. Sheesh. You've been very unmotivated lately. No, we can't do that. Okay, so it's perfect. Great. I have some things on my chest that I need to get off. Let me tell you, dog. It is tough. It's definitely tough. Being behind the camera, being an influencer, watching people form all these opinions about you when they like don't know you. It's tough, right? Sometimes we need spaces to vent. Like we really do. And I'm not that influencer is going to use my space to vent and sow negativity and talk shit about people. I'm never going to name anybody by name unless I feel like it's appropriate, then I will do so. But this is not about anybody. This is strictly about me and what I've been seeing. You guys know me. And there's some of the viewers that I have personal bonds and relationships with, but I don't know you guys. So if you come to the comment section and you're just like rowdy and unruly, and you're like popping off, bro, I might meet you with the same energy. I don't know. Maybe I may or I may not, but don't come to the comment section talking shit if you don't want me to talk shit back. Because guess what? I'm gonna talk shit. Plain and simple. I'm gonna look at some of your comments. It was about the shooting. I don't know what that is. Oh my god. Do you know how many times I heard that growing up? I was called Vanessa for like 10 years of my life, Kenneth. Why are you doing this to me? I thought I escaped it. I could have swore I escaped it. Her name is Camille. I love her. Damn. Oh, Casey's here. You gonna come chop it up with us, man? What's happening?
What up, Vanessa?
Sure. No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
I just had to.
Thank you for coming on, Casey. I think sometimes it's nice to let people like relate to you a little bit and understand that you're human just like they all are. But damn, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes I just don't ever want to come back on here and voice my opinions again. Like there are times where I'm like, yo, this is not worth it. Especially dealing with people you don't know and they're just ready to turn up.
It's not even that times are hard. It's the topics are getting more and more, and it's overwhelming.
It is.
Like I'm all I literally just to explain to everyone, like if you follow me on Facebook, but I was laying in bed watching these protests,
Mm,
and I'm like boiling in my skin. I'm like, what is wrong with you people? Like you don't understand it. And so it gets tough. It gets really tough, and I get
it
it.
does, man. What's
But
happening, Eric?
it's good to have fun stuff right now. It's
You
good.
haven't missed anything. I'm on here like I'm not bearing my soul. Let me stop being dramatic. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just on here talking to you guys for a second. I do have things I'm gonna talk about, but I just wanted to open it up and say, like, look, we are human just like you guys. All right. You cannot expect to come into somebody's comment section talking reckless as heck and they don't respond to you. Now, I'm never disrespectful. That's one thing I pride myself on. I only take it to that level if you go up there and just start talking outside of your neck. And then after I'm done, I block you. So it's not even like you stick around to notice anything else.
Right. And I think we've demonstrated that over and over and over. We're always open, guys. Like there
Hell
might
yeah,
be
man.
some topics that could be sensitive for us that we're a little bit more passionate about, but
Mm-hmm.
it's never personal. Ever. Ever.
You sent me an article. Okay. We may or may not cover it. Yes. Talking outside of your neck. Chill out. I keep telling people, stay in your lane and it won't be no traffic, bro. It's that simple. Mind your business. I had somebody tell me, they're like, you need to grow up, You show your age sometimes. And I was like, I'm 30. So what do you mean showing my age? Because she said, I'm 13 years older than you. You're 13 years older and you can't even spell right. Nah,
Speech
bruh.
speech is hard. Um
Grammar is hard.
no, the thing is like guys, it's cool. Like we're all cool. You can have a difference of opinion.
Yeah,
It's
man.
not a problem. Now, we may question your opinion. Like for example, I have a follower that's in my comments right now that he might even be watching this right now. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, dude, Adam Toledo had a gun in his hand. How are you going to question that? And he's questioning me on that. Here's a
Wow.
picture. It's right in your face.
Wow.
Oh, it wasn't pointed at the officer.
Oh, can't do that, man. Can't do that. Can't do that. But I just wanted to open the show that way, right? Because we're
Yeah.
gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna talk about some like super interesting topics. Um, we're gonna talk a little bit about culture. I'm tired of talking about race, but everything is set up in the media and everywhere else for you to constantly talk about it, and me ignoring it is not. Um, I don't think that's productive. I know some people. I used to say it too. Stop talking about it, and I'm like, I can't because these people are constantly talking about it and they're feeding you poison. They're like feeding you nonsense, lies. So I have to, and it sucks having to constantly talk about this stuff, man. I'm tired of it.
It's exhausting. It is. It is exhausting. One of the things that I love when you said stay in your lane, I had this reflection, and not to promote somebody else's channel, but I love these two
Yeah.
guys, Lodge Twins. But um, when he's like, anybody understand why people brake on the freeway? Why is there a log jam on the freeway? Why are there brake lights? It's a
Mm,
freeway. Just keep going.
right.
And that's how I look at life is like, guys, keep going. You put
Facts,
on the
man.
brakes and you stop and you're like, oh, I it's all poor me. No, keep going.
Facts, man. It's that simple. I think life is so simple. People complicate it.
Honestly, let me be real. I
What?
think they want excuses.
Yeah, some people do. I think
And
some people are perpetual excuse makers though, because that's all they know.
yeah, well, yeah, it becomes easy. It's the easy road. It's
Yeah.
the yellow brick road, right?
Facts, man. Look at Casey dropping knowledge on me. Ah! Casey's got a YouTube too. I don't know why he doesn't promote it.
I I love being on your guys' stuff. I don't do my own thing, but that might come up eventually.
Eric, why don't you come on, man? You're always in. I want to talk to Eric. Just like, if I see you in my comment section and you're like, you drop straight facts, I'm probably gonna invite you on the show.
I'll tell you,
Jonathan dropped straight facts for months, and I finally was like, yo, who are you?
Eric brings a wealth of knowledge.
Facts, man.
He does, and I'm in his corner, but I don't know if he's always in a place to be able to be in our be on the show. But yeah,
Yeah.
Eric, buddy, if you're ever in a time and place, come on, man. Or if you don't want to, cool. I understand.
Come on, man. So I was looking at news articles. Where'd it go? Oh wow. I think I closed it out. I would do that right before show when I need it.
Or you share with no audio.
There you go. Where did it go?
Oh man. I'm downing water like no other today.
Thirsty, man. It was a CNN article, and it said Black children are 6 times more likely to be shot by police officers, and they showed Tamir Rice. And then I was just like, I started thinking about Black representation in the media and the entertainment industry. That's in the sports world, okay? Those are areas where we show up in masses. Like, if you're Black, 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to be a rapper, singer, basketball player, Like, that's just what it was. I used to grow up and want to be a singer. I really didn't have any aspirations for anything else. At one point in time, I was like, maybe I might join the military, and then nothing. I didn't aspire for more. I was comfortable just coasting in life. So I wanted to see what Black representation was like. And I know what it is for myself, but that article it triggered some other thoughts. Why is Black representation always in a negative light? It doesn't matter how you spin it or how you look at it. When you look at it and you break it down to its like raw bones, it's never positive. And the positivity we do have, we then make it negative because we don't like what they're saying.
Let me challenge you a bit on that.
Okay.
It's in a negative light based upon the people that get the attention.
Yeah.
Yumi and Chelly talked backstage last night, and I was enlightening. I was not enlightening. I shouldn't say that. I was talking a lot about what Donovan Mitchell does.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even remember his position because he just does everything. He's a player for the Utah Jazz.
Okay.
For anybody that doesn't know, number 45. No significance to supporting Trump because I don't think he does. But he loves people and he just cares about people.
Right.
Race is not his thing. He does back the Breonna Taylor situation. That's fine. That's his choice. However, he actually takes his shoes off, his practice shoes, when he's practicing and getting warmed up and everything before the game. He'll take them off, sometimes sign them, and just call a kid out of the crowd to come down to his seat and then hand him his shoes. That is how you can make a difference in someone's world, is something simple like that. And it doesn't have to involve race. Zero has to involve race. Nothing. And
that makes sense. I see what you're saying. Yes, there are Black folks doing positive things. But the fact that I don't know his name, it proves my point, what I'm trying to say. I don't even know who that dude is. I didn't even know who Thomas Sowell was. And he's the world's greatest economist in the world. I had no clue who Larry Elder was. I had no clue who these people were. Because the culture and mainstream media don't depict Black folks in a good way.
Well, and that's my point, is you're not seeing the right people, is all it is. And We're not seeing the right people. For example, I had no idea about Kevin Samuels until
Yeah.
you. And I love watching his shows. And by the way, his show a couple days ago was fucking hilarious. Um, but when you start looking at these people, and it doesn't even have to be black, honestly, it doesn't. You can actually be white and do this. You can be brown, beige, red. I don't care. You can still be a leader in your community. And
Hmm.
that's what we're talking about, right? And that's where Donovan Mitchell, why I brought him up specifically is because here in Utah, he specifically posts on Twitter and he's like, "Hey, who's doing a barbecue today? Who can be pre-COVID, by the way? Who's doing a barbecue today? Where can I go?" And he just randomly will show up to a family's barbecue and bring stuff.
Nice. Nice.
That
I
those
need
are
that.
people that we need to promote in our community.
Yeah.
I'm also being clear. He does support the Breonna Taylor situation, but that's his
Hmm.
decision. It's not. There's some weird things there. I don't agree with it, but let him be him.
For
But
sure.
he still builds his community around him. What has BLM done other than buy $1 million houses?
Nothing. Nothing.
Like,
Nothing.
nothing. What has LeBron done for the community? I don't know of anything huge that he has done. And I see Donovan Mitchell and I see other people like Kevin Samuels like educating people and bringing common sense into play.
Hmm.
Also Rudy Gobert from the Utah Jazz at the same time. He's got in on the same mix and he's doing the same stuff. He's like, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. We're all human. Let's think about this. Like, how do we handle this?
Here's here. I'm gonna give you an example of what I mean. And this is something we do to ourselves. Oops, I don't want him in the back. I just changed my whole background. Good lord. Oh, there go DMX. Oh.
I'll take DMX. I'll take DMX any day. Rough Riders.
Oh, okay, there we go. We're back to the blue. I can't believe I did that. I put it in the wrong spot. I thought I was doing something. I'm like, yeah, I got my stuff ready for the show. No, I don't. Delete this. Put this one there. This is something we do to ourselves. We do it to ourselves, and then we complain about it when we get stuck in these roles and how they represent us and what they think about us. This is Tyler Perry. Everybody knows Tyler Perry. Everybody knows Tyler Perry, especially if you from the black community. If you're my age, you grew up watching Tyler Perry plays. I grew up watching all of his stuff before he even got to Hollywood. He put himself in a box of a black man playing the role of an older black woman. That is what is represented to the masses. Okay. A black man dressing as an older black woman. That's their strike one. And if you want to go over to the music industry, the black community, gang, death, drugs, violence, baby mamas, bitches, hoes. Show me a rapper. I mean, besides J. Cole, besides Kendrick Lamar, what is speaking? Negativity. If you look at roles that they're casted in, and you're right, Casey, they have a choice in the matter because they take these roles.
Mm-hmm.
What did Halle Berry have to do to get a Grammy? I mean, an Oscar.
I don't know, to be honest.
She had to bust it open on camera, if he's having sex with Billy Bob on Monsters Ball.
Okay, yeah, I now you say that movie, yeah, okay.
Now, all the movies that Halle Berry's done, she's a great actress, by the way.
She
She
is.
gets an Oscar. She gets an Oscar for this. Monique, as much as I don't agree with her, I'm going to pull up Monique. As much as I don't agree with her, I understand her frustration, but it's also her fault too because she decided to play a certain role. bruh, you play a certain role and then you get mad because you didn't pay me for this and this, that, and the third. First of all, why would you? Why? Why even take these negative roles that paint you in this terrible light? She played in Precious. Precious was a great movie. It was sad, extremely sad, but it was a good movie. I liked it. I didn't. I couldn't watch all of it because it was just ooh, behold a pale white horse. Go read it. I couldn't watch all of it because it was just too much to take. Like painful stories. I can't do movies like that. But this is Monique. Monique, great actress. But why did she get an Oscar? She played an abusive mother and a child molester.
So you're saying, and I got a follow up question to this, but so you're saying if they are playing an abusive or a sympathetic position in a show, they will get an award.
They do. And they get
Okay.
casted over and over and over for these same roles, for these same type of stereotypes, stereotypical roles for black folks, and then they get awarded for it.
Did Big Mama's House with Martin Lawrence get the same sympathy?
I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea. I'll do
I,
you one even better. We can go to Denzel Washington. Denzel
I
Washington got an Oscar for what movie?
here's why I'm thinking this. I love Martin Lawrence, by the way. Like Blue Streak is my favorite movie of all time. I could watch that
No wonder
tenfold.
we're friends.
Um, yeah, you're bringing up Miss Doubtfire with Williams, and you're there too. But Big Mama's House was done multiple times on. I think it was 2 or 3 series.
Hmm.
And with Training Day is a good one too. But with Martin Lawrence, when he did this movie, I think he deserved a lot more credit than he got. The reason
Hmm.
why I believe he didn't get it is because he's a comedian and he spoke his mind.
Of course.
And so by him being a comedian and being silenced by these people, but he still did awesome movies,
Hmm.
he didn't get any awards. Not because he played the other side. He kind of played the other side, but still didn't get it because he was vocal with where he stood on things because he was a comedian.
Facts. I'll agree with you there. Comedians. Oh, I have never seen Martin Lawrence do anything Oscar worthy. I will say that, but he is very much so vocal in all of his stand ups and himself personally.
Bad Boys?
I don't think that was
Remember
Oscar worthy. I don't even. I
that?
honestly,
Ooh,
I can't watch those movies over and over. I can watch Training Day like I've never seen it, and this is the role that I'm talking about. He
I
won an Oscar for being a shitty cop and playing a shitty role.
okay.
Why?
No, and I agree with you. I love Training Day. I think Training Day is a great movie.
Yeah.
I can't watch it over and over and over. I will watch Bad Boys 2 and Bad Boys 1 over and over and over,
Uh huh.
honestly. Like I love those two together. It was hilarious. And that's just cuz I love comedians. I love comedic. How do you say it?
Comedic.
Comic videos. Let's just say it that way. Kevin Hart's another one that I love too, but it's
Hmm.
when we start talking about these things and you got to promote the people you like.
Hmm.
And these two, when it comes to Bad Boys, I'm like, yeah, they should have got more. Because what did
Hmm.
they promote? They promoted family. They promoted protection. They promoted providing. They
Hmm.
promoted of all of this stuff that we don't get in society today from the average family.
For sure.
And that was all in Bad Boys.
I'll agree with that. I
And
personally
that
didn't like it. I don't like action movies. I think that's my thing. I just don't like action movies like that.
I don't see them as action. I saw them
Really?
as comedic, is what I saw because they
Dang.
are hilarious, dude. You put you give Martin Lawrence, you put him in a Porsche and he's firing his gun at the dashboard, or he's on his ecstasy at his chief's officer's house. Like, yeah, it's hilarious.
I
Like,
got you.
I see it as a comedic thing, but
Okay.
I do agree. Training Day is much more serious and a great video. And I do like Denzel Washington. I really do. I wish he would actually use his platform better than others do.
Yeah. There you go, Kenneth. I'm just specifically talking about entertainment right now. Okay. The entertainment industry really doesn't reflect black folks in a good light. It just doesn't. And like I said, the roles that they're getting awarded for when he did Glory. Glory. That was one of the best movies made. I could probably go sit and watch that. Why not award him for that?
I I can't comment because I haven't watched it.
You ain't black.
No, I'm not. Hate to break it to everybody, I'm not.
Good. That's a good point. Promotion of neo-Nazi. He won an Oscar. He does have very conservative views, but I don't think that's why he's limited on his Oscars. I think they awarded him on that one because that's just what they do. I'm going to bring up somebody else. Now, I love him to death. I don't agree with everything he says, but he's a truth teller. He has been completely ostracized, ridiculed, beat down. Why? Why?
There's a soft spot in my heart for Cat Williams. I love him. I love him. He was in his prime when I was in my late teenage years, and I loved watching his shows. And my wife, when her and I first got together, she was an innocent LDS little girl. And we watched the show, and she's like, "What am I watching?" And I'm like, "This is hilarious." And then all of a sudden, she started thinking about it, and she's like, "This is so funny. This is so funny." My favorite skit of all time is him talking about sitting on a stove and staring at the freaking fridge and be like, "What is in there? What is in there?" Like,
Thank you. When you stand against opposition and you tell the truth, and and you speak out against these stereotypes, because Eric brought it up. Denzel Washington has talked about typecasting. They do it. I'm not saying that it's just so big and bad. My question is, we know that black representation is not painted in the best light. So why don't we as people say, you know what? I'm not taking that role. I'm not doing that role. Get somebody else to do it. And stand up for yourself instead of accepting what society and culture has painted you to be. I don't understand why we do that. Navy SEAL Widow, Suni send me link.
He wants
what are you gonna get on here and talk about? Because your comments have been kind of strange. I'm gonna send you the link. You can come on here.
Let's bring him on. But to add to what you're talking about, this is just proving the point that our media is driving our decisions and our positions on things, and it shouldn't, right? And to make a point to you guys, can anybody name 10 comedic movies that have been released in the last 5 years?
In the last 5 years?
Yeah.
I know, God, what is his name? Seth Rogen. He's come out with a few of them. But they're all like, it's all like dude humor. It's funny, but nobody else thinks it's funny except for people with a sense of humor. Like Zac Efron, that movie they came out with. They came out with 2 versions of that. 5 years. Damn, I'm not good with movies. I don't really watch them like that, so I have no clue.
No, you're fine. And I'm seeing it in the comments. They're proving my point. Why I don't even watch movies anymore. Yeah. There's not many. There's not. And the reason for it is everybody's going blood and gore.
Yeah.
There's manipulation happening. I
Guys.
love, like, my favorite last comedic movie was it, is it called Day After Christmas? Day After Christmas with Seth Rogen. It's got Seth Rogen in it. And it was like 3-4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And Emily and I have a um crap, what is it? I can't think of it right now. We have a ritual that we watch that every Christmas season together, because we
Mm-hmm.
went and saw that, like, when we were together and we didn't have kids. We went and watched it like Christmas Eve or something like that, and it was the most hilarious movie ever, and it was funny. But you don't see those made anymore.
You don't.
You can't. You want to know why? They brought up Jewish in this movie. They brought up Christianity in this movie. They brought up people actually having their own things, having their own opinions, and doing their own thing.
Mm.
And that was
I
like
heard
the
Mortal
end.
Kombat was good. Sorry to cut you off.
Mortal Kombat, I gotta watch it. I have some love for that game, so I still gotta watch it, but I haven't.
So we're proving the point. Society and culture is killing us so slowly. That's why I said there's a real epidemic. And it's society, man. It's the parameters that these people put on all of us, and we just fall in line like little drones. We don't question it. We don't say anything. We just go along with it. So I'm gonna get out of entertainment because I'm not even gonna get into Cardi B and how ridiculous she is. I'm not gonna get into Nicki Minaj and how ridiculous she is. Those are all self-explanatory. They're sexually charged, um, vulgar with their words, and it's just disgusting. So I'm not gonna get in and waste my time on those. We all know that that paints the community in a bad light, and I just want to know, why are you accepting it? You don't have to buy into this stuff. You create Nikki. You create a demand for her because she wouldn't be who she is without you all. I know some people listen to Nicki Minaj here. Don't even lie. Don't do it. Y'all probably listen to Cardi B too. It's okay.
You're 100% on point. Well,
You
yeah,
have to put it in. You can't open it from YouTube. You have to copy the link and put it into Chrome or Safari.
and this is why, like, just to give everybody a perspective of where I came from, as I said, Blue Streak is one of my favorite movies. It's more of a comedy action mix, right? But
Mm-hmm.
I was super into all the blood and gore. The Saw series was my favorite. And then I got thinking, what are we teaching people?
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is not good. No, we are teaching people to torture people. No. And so I stopped going to those movies. I stopped buying them. And those are things that I have done. I'm not saying everybody has to do that, but that is what I have done in moving a different direction. And I only watch some comedy. I very rarely watch movies, honestly, but mostly comedies. And so that's about it. And they're old comedies. Like, my favorite one of all time, it's not even a movie, it's a TV show. It's uh, um, what is it called? Freaking with Tim Allen, the Tool House,
Oh, you talking about Home Improvement?
Home Improvement. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. But Home Improvement, that's my favorite one, because sometimes he's just an idiot. He just puts the wrong thing on the wrong thing, and it's going the wrong way. Like, cool. I love those shows.
Yeah.
But media today is manipulating everyone.
Yeah.
And
It
Rose
is,
said
man.
Last Man Standing. And Last Man Standing has fell off for the last few years. If you look at the content of it, it's not there anymore. It started
Yes, you
off
do,
just like
Walter.
Home Improvement.
Walter, stop lying. You do get it. You make the cut. Hey, listen. Sometimes this comment section is like, so it's hard to catch your comments. If I don't catch it, it's not personal. I can't see. See, your comment just disappeared that quick.
Facts.
The royalty business is popping right now. Yeah, for sure. I would agree with that. So let's move on to another area
Let's do it.
where we are negatively represented. Of course, I got to bring my guy into this, my favorite YouTuber, Kevin Samuels. He did a show the other day where he talked to modern women, and some women are going to get mad at me and leave the stream. It's okay. I still love you. He did a show where he said, "Are modern women finished?" Um, and a woman said, "It's better to be a baby mama than a wife." Now, if that's not negative, I don't know what is. Like, if that's not the most backwards, disgusting way of thinking, just go out and create children with whoever you want. Be a baby mom. Don't ever get married. Don't ever show your children what it's like to have a family unit, functioning parents that love each other. Nope. Let's just be baby moms. If that's not negative representation, that you are representing that on your own at this point. Because nobody's holding a gun to these women's heads saying, go to Kevin Samuels and embarrass yourself. But I'm glad that he does this because it proves my point. There is no positive representation of Black people. The positive ones that we have, they tear them down. Candace Owens is a prime example.
They don't tear them down. They silence them. And here's the point that I'm going to disagree on the tearing down because it's a choice of words, but I'm going to say they silence them and make sure that they don't get the presence that they deserve and what people should see. And because if you're tearing someone down, I believe these people have stronger souls and stronger personalities. You can't tear these people down. I think you can silence them, but I don't think you can tear these people down.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I love Candace. I'm not going to play all 30 minutes of it, but I want you to see a good portion of this video, and we have to pause it and stop it so that it's technically not me using his content. I have to speak over it. So if I'm pausing it too much, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to not get my video snatched down. I cannot say what's wrong or right.
You have any kids?
Yes, I do. I have two.
So, in other words, fuck marriage, but I'll have kids.
It wasn't really that. Me and their father was together as teenagers.
Okay.
And just by the time we got to the marrying age, I would say by the time we were 23, 24, looking towards marriage, I was done with the relationship. He cheated a lot.
But you already had the kids.
Yes, we already had children, yes.
So this one, so I've said this before and I'll say it again. Black women, it seems like being a wife is more of a big deal than being a mother.
For some people, it was never that type of thing to me, and maybe because of what I saw as far as being a wife, I saw.
Okay, so why don't you? Okay, so I don't want to just assume, but how old are your kids?
14 and 9.
14 and 9?
Yes.
And how old are you?
33.
33?
Yes.
So you had a kid at 18 or 19 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and then another one at 24, 25, 23, 24.
Yes.
All right. So why was marriage no big deal then?
Marriage was never a big deal on mine. I would say because I personally never I think I have like commitment phobia almost.
You got what?
Like I have a thing with commitment. I just don't personally believe, the vows that people say.
But you made a baby with somebody.
I don't see people live that lifestyle, basically.
This doesn't make sense to me, man, because it's like phobias and commitment. You committed to being somebody's mama until you die.
Yes.
What is it with women like yourself that don't seem to realize that that's crazy to us? Meaning that it's all right to be a mama and struggle or try to do the job of two people as one person.
What'd you take from it, Casey?
I between these, I haven't seen this video before, and I'm just like, this lady's off her rocker. Honestly, she has no idea what it takes to be a wife.
She doesn't.
Like, honestly, I love my wife to death. She does everything, and we discussed all of this in our earlier relationship. Like, hey, there's roles, there's things that we're gonna do. Now, am I going to say that you always have to do this? No,
Yeah.
there's times I can step in, sure. But she is one that, no, you will do this. And I'm like, okay, you are a special individual.
Special ed. Somebody said that nail could hurt someone.
Honestly, I don't know how she wipes, but
Hey,
that's
listen,
not
they're
my
longer
problem.
than that. They're longer than that.
Oh,
Nails get done every week, though. I don't. Well, here's my thing. I know this is for all women. It's not just the Black community, but I'm talking about the Black community right now. And I honestly don't know many white women to even have an opinion, which is why I don't talk about it, because I don't know. And I don't like when people make comments about the Black community when they ain't spent not one iota or lick of time around them, and they just make erroneous assumptions. I don't want to be that person. So I don't know. All I know is that this is common where I grew up and where a lot of other of us grew up, to where being a woman is just like, it's frowned upon. You got to be doing the same thing as a man. You got to be in competition with the man. It's like, why? We've completely lost what the meaning of a woman is. And I think it's gross, man. I don't like how masculine women are.
no, I'll tell you. Well, let's take masculine, like, and define that a little bit. Like, we don't want women to be out and be doing all of the man stuff that is the general role, in my opinion. But can they fill those roles at times? Sure. Has my wife done some of the stuff has my wife gone out and mowed the lawn when I was sick one day? Yeah, she has.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I prefer to mow the lawn. That's my thing. That's what I do. But has she stepped up and done it? Yes. There's nothing wrong with that. But is it her duty? No. I suggested.
Why can't you just come on? Come on via your computer, something. You can't say that we see what it's. If you see it, then call it out. And if you see it, you wouldn't tell me to shut up, and I can't say that. If you see it, you would never say you can't say that. Black women want to be catered to. Like
All
I said, it is all women, but I'm only speaking on Black women because this is what I know best. All women want to be catered to. You even want to be catered to. Sometimes I want to be catered to, but it doesn't need to be all the time. You cater to your husband, and your husband can cater to you every now and then. But that's besides the point. Just the way that we don't embrace being a woman, we don't embrace being a wife, we don't embrace staying home and caring for your children. I've literally had a lady tell me that my life is privileged because I don't have to do anything but sit at home and raise kids. I'm like, why do we talk about motherhood and being a wife as if it's not a hard job to raise children and be productive citizens, especially in this environment?
That's a tough one. I don't have answers for that. Eric, we'll get you on one day, buddy.
We will. I don't think I can tolerate much more of her.
Well, actually, I've never had to do the job as far as their dad by myself because their dad has always been present. However, in a single mom aspect of, us living apart. I live, in my separate state, and you live in yours.
Present
That
doesn't
makes
mean.
things
See, the
difficult,
thing
but
is,
that
okay.
I never
See,
wanted to be a
we
wife.
we get it confused just because a child can be maintained.
Uh-huh.
A roof over head, food on the plate, and clothes on the back does not mean a child is being raised. The trying to do the job of two people means you're one person in the house.
Correct.
That means there's a deficit. That means you're one side. You are unbalanced. It's a female's way of looking at things with no man in the house. And as somebody who has had to try to do things on the weekend, that's not the same. Why is
No,
it
that's
that
not the same. However, that doesn't mean every woman. I don't. You get what I'm saying? Some women look at marriage or being a wife as a pivotal point to success in life. That just never been.
you sound very?
I've never.
So it's all right. So it's basically okay to walk around with you and kids and no structure.
No, not me and my kids in no structure. Yes, we probably should have more structure with having a father in the home. Absolutely, there's more structure, but it's okay for me to not be to be committed to being a mother, but not being committed to being a wife.
How does one come before the other?
Oh, good lord. I I just can't. Like, here, I only can speak from my experience. Like, my wife and I had early understanding. When we got married, and we didn't have kids until we were 9 years married. We were married for 9 years before we had kids. And it was because we set a example of steps, process.
Hmm.
We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. So we are going to get married. We will buy a house, and then we will have kids. I didn't want to be bouncing around from house to house, renting and stuff like that. I wanted to have a stable household. And she is making excuses on why she can't have a man, but she's still got baby mom. She's still the baby mama from probably multiple kids out there.
I think I should be a wife. I mean, I think I should be a mother. Well, she doesn't see the importance of being a wife before a mother. Well, folks, do you know who Iyanla Van Zant is? Have you ever heard of her? You ever heard of her, Casey?
I
Iyanla
have
Van
not.
Zant? No.
I have not.
Look, as much as I don't like her, I've been finding a lot of people that I'm just like, you are terrible for the community, are actually coming around. This lady, she does her own, she's a life coach, and she has her own show on Oprah's show where she sits down and talks to predominantly Black folks about all their dysfunction and issue. But she said, and I quote, Black women are out of order. This woman on the screen is out of order. This is a representation for Black women because most Black women think exactly like she does. Why is our representation so shitty? And why do we allow it to be shitty?
So I don't know much. I don't know anything about that other woman. But so she is promoting a society to where Black women have excuses in how they get through their life. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yep.
Lord help us.
It's all right to have, she just said it. I can have kids. I don't got to be a wife. As long as I'm being a mom, none of that other shit matters. It's people just don't understand the importance of family. They don't understand. They really don't understand it because I didn't. Because I never had it growing up. And when you don't have something, you don't know. So it could be they don't know. But I think information, and she's old enough to know, I need me and my partner, the person I had kids with, the person I had sex with multiple times, we need to work this out because the kids are more important than we are. Now, I'm not saying stay in a volatile, violent relationship, but if you have two sound-minded people that could come together and put aside all the BS for your kids, you should do that. You should do that.
And it's mostly BS. Let's be honest. At the time of a lot of these breakups, it's BS. One side won't compromise or both sides won't compromise to understand and work to make the relationship work. And in other scenarios, there's abuse and all of that stuff. Yeah, that's cool. I understand.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the time it's like, he won't listen to me. Or
Yep.
she is a bitch. And it's like, sorry. Like,
No, you don't have to show your face. You don't have to show your face at all. If anybody's worried about that, you don't have to show your face. You can just appear with audio. You don't have to show your face.
Yeah, absolutely. And so this woman is the exact representation of, I will never take accountability. It's always the other person's fault. And I'm claiming to be a mother, but I'm still going to blame their dad. And I guarantee you, she is going to go to her kids and be like, it's your daddy's fault.
Hey, preach.
And so, come on, guys. Like, that's all we need to do. Just be logical in these scenarios. Like, am I going to say that my wife and I, it's been rainbows and sunshine all the time? Hell no. We've had our fights. We've had our things. But guess what? We worked it out.
Yeah.
And people are still shocked that my wife and I have been married. And when they find out, oh, they've been married for 14 years. Yeah. It's because you work things out. You discuss things.
You do.
It's simple.
It's simple. And you know what else makes it simple? If you just play your role. Like, stay in your lane. It won't be no traffic. If you adopt that, okay, just take that and adopt it to your life. I guarantee you'll be happier. Stay in your lane. It won't be no traffic. It won't be no traffic because it's that. Just damn, be a woman and let your man be a man. And don't try to cross over to that and pump your chest out. Chill out, please.
No, there's compromise on both sides. You got to work together. And that's why I keep saying whenever we talk about marriage, it's always teamwork. Teamwork.
It's sad that Black children don't know their daddies, who their daddies are. It is sad.
Facts.
No, it's not.
You know what I'm saying?
No. See, I get that y'all want to believe that, but the results are pretty clear. That's why the Black community is at the bottom, because there's so many women that, like yourself, think, all right, I'll commit to being a mother.
It's either
listen. Now I'll let you speak. Don't let me speak. And then your child is 14 and 9. You don't know what it's going to be yet. You don't know until they're out of your house and realize, ever 18, what kind of people do we make? So you really don't know yet. But what we do know is the woman that came before you that have children and don't worry about marriage. Do you have boys or girls?
I have a son and a daughter.
So you don't want your daughter to be married either?
No, not that I don't want my daughter to be married. If that's what she wants to do, she can. But I've never made it a priority or a thing for myself. That's just me.
But it was all right to
I have not met the man that I feel that I can commit to.
That you feel like the man you could do what?
That I can commit to.
I gotta call her out. What you felt like you could have sex with him and create kids.
That's all right. I'm gonna go have sex with a random person. I don't know. I'm maybe dating them. Sure, whatever. Let's give her a benefit of the doubt.
Wait a minute, bro. Did she really just say that? Hell no. No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks. Don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Nope. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Alright then. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'ma get the fuck up out of here. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
This, folks, is why we have an issue we have in this country. This lady literally said, I'm gonna end it right there. She didn't think it was a priority to become a wife. She didn't think none of that was important, but she said, I'm just gonna suck and fuck. And that'll be my priority. All right, ma'am. All right. Welcome to the stream, Joanna. How are you? Oh, I can't hear you if you're talking. I don't know did you mute yourself? Is your mic muted? Okay. Well, I'm going to bring her back up when she's ready because I can't hear her. Can you hear her?
No, I can't. You're good. You're on point. No, like so I'm just gonna be single out here, just doing my thing and having kids. I don't need to commit to anybody.
Spreading it. She put miles on her coochie. Miles.
With the way that he acts, just like
God.
perfect example, I could
So
be
why
with
make
your
babies
father,
for the
and we
man?
could be.
Then why make
We-
so? See, ma'am, all this stuff would make sense if you wouldn't decide to become a mother once or twice. And this is what I need you ladies to start listening to. Close your mouth in this situation. Listen. This is what's wrong for the problem in our community. We got women saying this stuff, and y'all don't listen to the rep. This is why our community is jacked up. We got so many individual women talking about, well, I don't know a man who can do this or that. And it's like, well, who cares?
Are you with us now? She said, my mic isn't muted. Not sure why it's not coming through. I have no clue, but I can't hear you.
Yeah, we can't hear you. Are you on a phone or something? Phone should be fine, but there should only be one mute button. I hope.
You're somebody's mother. And we need families.
Yes, we do need families, but I do not support being a family with a male just because you have a penis does not mean you can leave.
But then why have his babies?
What do you want to have his babies? We were in love. We had children, just like.
So you were in love, but not in love enough to get married before you had children.
I don't want to bring this up and change the whole direction we go, but we understand like this is what BLM is promoting.
Yeah.
Same type of mentality.
Black representation, Casey.
They don't want, what is it called? The something family. Gosh dang it. I'm
Western prescribed family.
And they don't want that. This is what she's saying right now. And people are supporting this mentality.
She's talking about her ass. She has no scruples. She has no morals. I think you meant morals. Nuclear family.
Yeah, nuclear family is what I was thinking of. Exactly. Thanks, Steve.
And I bet you she got a mask that say BLM. I bet you she got a shirt that say I can't breathe. I guarantee you she does. She looks like it.
I was just gonna say the mask has got to say I can't breathe, but then she's still got a mask on. I was like, take your mask off. You can't breathe.
Uh-oh, she's back. Hopefully it worked. Hello?
Are you able to hear me now?
I can. How are you? Welcome to the stream.
I'm good, thanks. Must have been some sort of a glitch.
Probably. What's up? What's on your mind?
Well, now I'm completely distracted, so keep playing the video.
Okay.
Like people get married and they get divorced. It's the same thing.
No, it's not. It is not the same
is.
thing. It is not the same thing. And that's
What's the difference?
That is another jacked up part of you don't even know what you basically what you're saying is like so many women. Whether you're married or not married, it don't matter because people can divorce.
No, it doesn't matter.
Marriage
Just
is
saying
all,
in general,
listen,
people are divorced.
no. Whether we get married or not, relationships can break up. It's this all things are equal. It's always relative. And the problem is in our community, this is how women think. It's no big deal. Whether you're married or not, just make the babies and have fractured, broken homes. Because
nobody set up. We didn't set up to have a fractured or broken home. Because had I not left the relationship, we would still be together to this day.
So you broke like I said.
Had you not had if your coochie wasn't warm and ready for entry, you probably would have waited until you knew this was a person that you wanted to have kids with. That's where people mess up. Stop screwing everybody. Like, that's nasty. That's nasty. I don't care what anybody says. That is nasty. You, as a woman, you should never be like spreading yourself around like that. Ugh.
regardless, it doesn't matter on gender,
Ugh.
man or woman.
He's like, don't be putting men out there. What you mean?
Yeah, like seriously, like men think with the right head. Stop being dumbasses.
I can't take her. Oh my gosh, she's terrible.
I say a lot of modern women
But
are
I
home
left the
wreckers.
relationship
A lot
because
of
I
women
was
are
not
home
about to let
wreckers. You
somebody.
wreck your own homes.
I
This is
wreck
what
my
we
because
end
I'm
up
not
doing.
gonna allow a man to
We end
disrespect
up,
me
a lot of
or
women
put his
start, you can't
hands on me
overtalk.
in
You
front
can't
of my
overtalk me.
children just to
You
say
can't
he had
overtalk
a
me.
home.
Oh, no, hell no. You can't overtalk me. And that's not going to work. I've been trying to be cool, but when I start talking and you start talking, you can do that shit with your man, but you can't do that here.
But you do it to her.
You want to wreck your home, it's cool, but this is why our community is jacked here, because you women don't even listen to another point of view.
You're not listening. You don't. You're
listen.
not listening. You sound like
Get your little cackling friend and check her.
See? This is why y'all will forever be single.
Wow.
Because you buck up. This is what I mean by masculine energy. You know, a man is telling the truth about something, and you like, what? No, you're not listening. No, you're not. Because you wouldn't be a single mom, bitter as shit with your friend, probably chilling around the couches with some wine, if you were actually women and you did what you're supposed to do. Ew. What you think so far, Joanna?
I to first and foremost, the fact that she had children and doesn't believe in marriage is insane. Why would you not want to be married to the man that you're having children with?
I don't know. This is just my personal opinion. I would never be able to be with another man while my children are, especially having 2 daughters. I don't know you. I don't know where the fuck you came from. You could be the best dude ever, but I'm not trusting you around my kids. You got to be careful with that. Bringing everybody, like multiple men. No, I feel safe right here with my man and their father. Why would you even consider letting another man raise your kids? Like, I just don't get that. I really don't.
No, you shouldn't. And by the way, Christine, eggplant. No one likes eggplant. Just kidding, I know what you mean. The thing that we got to think about here is it's a culture that people are coming in and just attracting themselves to. You have the same men that are looking for women like this.
Yeah.
And you have women that are looking for men like I just described. They're not the greatest men on the planet.
Mhm.
Now, can they change? I believe anybody can change. Absolutely. However, look at the smug on her face. That tells you right there she is listening to respond, and she is not listening to actually understand. That is everything on her face right now. And it's like, no wonder why you're single.
That's because he's putting her in her place.
Yes.
Same with probably a couple baby daddies.
You about to correct me? Oh, I'm wrong? No, I'm not. She got an attitude real quick. Whew. Oh, you want me to listen without interrupting? Nah.
Check your cackling friend. If you want to talk, check your friend on bounce. If she wants to get on, tell her to bring her butt on it. No, tell her to get on the screen. Tell her to bring herself on the screen, or y'all both. Now don't do that in that background.
In my business.
Tell your friend to get on and bounce.
Not married.
You can't even control your friend. This is crazy.
I'm not
This is the shit we talking. I'm serious. Listen what just happened. I don't know a man that's good enough to do such and so forth. And who wants to be dealing with some foolishness like that?
Thank you.
The only group of women that sit around and try to justify and make it make sense is to, well, I can go be a young mother, a teenage mother at 18 or 19 years old when you ain't got no business being a mother, not married, and then go do it again and then talk about the downsides of it. Ladies, understand, this is why so many men feel like you're done.
Oh, Kevin Samuels is the GOAT, man. He is the GOAT. This is why so many women are single. Why do women get mad when I say, like, yo, if you're bitter and you don't know how to shut up, you're probably not going to be with anybody unless there's a man out there that just loves you that much to tolerate your annoying ass. I wouldn't do it. Mm-mm.
Let's be fair. There are some men that don't deserve that credit, but not that many. I have some friends that I'm like, I don't know how you have relationships, but that's okay.
I don't get it. I really don't. She comes back, so I'm gonna play a few more minutes of this and see where she's going. If she doesn't make her point real fast, I'm just gonna have to call it a night on her. But I'm showing you, I'm reacting to this, but I'm also trying to bring it full circle to show you the representation of us as a people is terrible. And it's because we allow it. You have to stop trying to shut personalities up like Candace Owens, like Brandon Tatum, like Thomas Sowell, like Larry Elders, the ones that are telling the truth. Leo, stop it, bro. Listen to what these people are saying and take it in, or you're going to forever be the perpetual victims nonstop about everything. Oh, the cop pulled me over. It's because I'm black. Oh, this man don't want to be with me. It's because I'm black. Women are going that far now. They're going that far now to where they get pissed off if a guy wants to go date another race. Well, I can see why they don't want you.
Isn't it just to pay the phone bill?
Hey, look, some of them do that. I ain't even gonna lie. Welcome to the stream.
Yo.
How are you?
How you doing, Sonny?
I'm good. What's up?
Let me just shoot my plug real quick, man. You go to my Patreon. Go to my Patreon, get 20% off. Get 20% off on your first abortion. All right. You know what I mean? Your fourth abortion is free. Just use the promo code Deadbeat Mother. But anyways, how you doing, Sony?
Wait.
How you doing? That's me. That was me. How you doing? How y'all doing?
Hell no. To the no. Yeah, to the no.
Bruh, you came in guns blazing. What's up?
What's good. Nah, yeah, I see y'all rocking with my man Kevin Samuels, man. I mess with Kevin Samuels too. I'm gonna try and keep it clean for you, man. You know, I don't want to use all that rhetoric, you know.
Okay.
I was previously indoctrinated, and I woke up late. You know, I was like Morpheus the first time he seen the Matrix for the real thing. And I was like, yo, can you put me back in? Can you put me back in? Like, you feel me? But I was like, no, I had to learn how to live with this mess. You know, it hurts when you know the truth. You know, the lie was so much easier to deal with. But
sure.
but yeah, now we here though. How y'all folks doing? What's my man over there? I can't see the screen. My man right below you. What's your name, dude? With the nice shirt on, man, the black hat.
Thanks, man. It's Casey, and I was just about to call you out and be like, "What the fuck? You're just getting on and throwing out a Patreon?" But no,
it's not a real thing, man. I was just, I'm just messing with the population, you know.
I get it.
Other than that, though, let's get back on with the breakdown. I wanna give you my little 2 cents as you go in, because I seen a lot of the videos that you put up. I mean, by the time you get to give your reaction, I've seen them like a week or two ago. So I was gonna go with the flow that you got going on and add my 2 cents, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Well, continue the video. I mean, I don't know which one you're on. You got so many out there.
Think of coming to run to you. So now it's to the point that now you bring your friend back on here after dinner.
Oh, she apologized and she's gonna be quiet. Wow.
But the thing is, man, I'm coming back in about an hour, and I won't have the conversation with you. But what I'm trying to get you to understand is why. Okay, let me ask you this question. Aside from you, is marriage a good idea for the raising of children or not?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. I believe that. Yes.
But 80% of our children in our community are born outside of marriage.
Correct.
And when we do have marriages, our women are leaving 80% of the time.
Right.
And I think you did say that if you hadn't have left the relationship, it'd still be going on.
Correct.
Okay. So to men on the outside looking in, if you could have one child, 2 children for a man, why can't you stay there and figure it
Well,
out?
I could not stay there because he was not only physically abusive towards me, but he would constantly cheat on me. And not only to the point that he would at least cheat and I wouldn't know about it. These women be calling, harassing, coming to my home. It was too much. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
For me to be dealing with a man with 2 children that we have. I'm in college. I moved out of state to be with him. I committed to our relationship the whole time we have been together. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
This is at the time we are discussing getting together, getting married, and I just refuse to say, hey, I don't want to tolerate disrespect, and I will not allow a man to disrespect me in front of my children. I don't want my son to think that that is okay.
Hold on.
But these are the
Now,
men.
I was all right with you until you started talking about I will allow a man to disrespect me in front of my children. They're not your children.
Well, there are children, but
the thing is, that's not what you women always say, my children. It becomes about you. It's about me and me. I'm not going to let you do this to me in front of mine.
Oh, hell no. Like, seriously?
No, I've heard that. That's true. Like what he's saying. And I'm, like I said, I'm speaking for the Black community. I'm speaking for what I experienced growing up. You're a pawn. You're a pawn in that whole dynamic. There was times where my mom would say the most reckless stuff about my dad in my presence. And it made me develop like this hatred for him. And I didn't even know where it came from. Didn't even know where it came from. I had so much anger built up inside of me. And it's because some Black mothers use their children as pawns because they either want to get back at the man, or 9 times out of 10, that's who they want to be with. And the fact that you're not buying into their shit, they use the children. Tell me I'm lying.
Sad.
Tell me I'm lying. Jay, you're here. Tell me I'm lying.
Well, you're not lying. First of all, I was the outside child in a new situation. So, I felt like, when I was lucky. Excuse me. I was lucky and I was unfortunate at the same time. And I don't know if I'm explaining it right. Just hear me out. If it wasn't for my stepfather, I'd probably be worse off than I am now. But at the same time, in my mother's eyes, I am the embodiment of a situation that she failed.
Yep.
It didn't work out with my father. She can tell me everything she wanted to tell me or say, oh, he this and he that, but why did you give me his name if he was all that? If he was all of that, why do I have his name? Why I've never met this dude, but we share the same name. I'm the second of a person I've never met. And I guess every day I grow older, I started to look like the person that left her for whatever reason I do not know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's always 2 sides to a story. And I was raised to believe that the same indoctrination that, hey, well, yeah, my dad ain't shit. And I used to believe that shit. Yep. I mean, and part of me, it's like I said, it's 2 sides to a story. So I can't sit here and believe that he's everything that I was told he was, and that she isn't anything. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not articulating this properly.
No,
I'm having a hard
understand.
time.
I understand what you're saying.
I can't believe
exactly.
he was this bad person that he's been made out to be to me. And there's other reasons or other situations that went down for the reason why they weren't together. Yes. And I was lucky, social media wasn't out back then. That's the only reason why it was easy to be a stepfather back in the day, because there wasn't, the outlets weren't there. People were able to, it wasn't that they were able to control themselves. They had no choice but to control themselves. but they got so much more freedom and so much more access and to everything in the rest of the world that they feel like I could do whatever, whenever, however I want.
Yeah. I mean, you articulated yourself well. Thank you for sharing that, because a lot of us have the same story. And yes, it's not only Black women, but like I said, we are the only community that will cry about representation, about being single, about having to raise kids on our own when we're the ones that created those three realities. That's the crazy
Exactly.
part about it. You are doing it. This is the reason I'm
I'm
doing
in the
this
hood
show.
right now. Trust me. I'm in Buffalo, New York. I'm
Oh
in
wow.
Buffalo, New York. This is a blue state. So for me to speak my mind, I gotta literally walk on eggshells out here.
Yeah.
With
I bet
Andrew
you do.
Cuomo. You know what I mean? I gotta step on eggshells out here because I can't really speak my mind. I've been threatened a few times just for speaking my mind and not really being aggressive towards anybody or talking down on them, but just giving them my opinion and my ideology of things. And they like some tap dancing Negroes out here. And now I'm the coon.
Facts. Hold on. I'm gonna let you go, Chelly. I'm gonna mute you guys real quick because there's a little feedback. I believe in telling the truth all the time. Okay, it is not only Black men that leave their children. Don't put those things out. I said why I'm specifically talking about the Black community. I'm not saying that it only happens here, but this is my experience and this is what I know for sure. And I'm telling you, the representation we have is because of us. Okay? We don't have to accept these norms, these stereotypes that's been set before us. You actually don't. But when you buy into the narrative, then personalities like me have to then come and run my mouth about you. So I'm just putting that out there. We know this happens in every community. But we are the only ones that create the situation and then go whine about it. Go ahead, Chelly.
I just wanted to say, like, when he was talking, there's so many things that are relatable in my neighborhood as well. Like, I grew up and with a single mom up until she met my stepdad. But I think that a lot of things that I learned for myself watching that, and the things that I didn't like about that was that no matter what I went through as an adult, I didn't want my children to be a part of that, because I am an adult and I made choices, right? And I know for a fact that I have to hold myself accountable for choices that I may not have made that were great, right? Like, we all make mistakes, right? It happens. But my main thing, and I have 3 different baby daddies, if you want to call them that. One was a husband, then I had another relationship, and now my current husband. But I never, ever have said anything negative about them. And because children have no place in grown folks' business. What happens between 2 adults should stay between 2 adults, and people don't realize how much their children suffer when you do that. And a lot of times when it's women who do it, it is because they are bitter. They are hurt. They are still wanting something that they want and cannot longer have it. So now the child tends to become a pawn. It can go back and forth, but that is kind of I just wanted to just add to that. Like, we've all experienced that. I've experienced that. But for myself, like, and I hate the fact that government is involved to the extent where, like, if a father wants to see his child, right, mom has all the control. And now he gets weekends or every other Sunday or whatever the fuck these crazy rules are, to be honest. But I think, like, for myself, I was never the type like, hey, I want child support. I want this. I think we're adults, right? Like we know we have kids. That's a given. Like just help me out because you know that it takes extra for me to feed them and they need clothes and they're growing. So so when it came down to it, like, oh, I was like, you can see them. Oh, well, you can see them whenever you want. Like, who am I to tell you you could only have one Sunday every other Sunday? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, we have to, I think parents need to be more mindful. Parents, I said parents, because I know people will be like, why are you guys talking just about women? Men do it too. We know men do it. I know men do it. I've experienced it, trust me. But I'm just saying, parents need to be parents and put your children first. Like, do not traumatize them with your hurt.
And to emphasize, it has nothing to do with race.
No.
Cracker people, what I refer to myself,
No, you
my
didn't.
group, they do the same thing. Like,
listen, a lot of people like me. They hear one thing or they see, oh, you got to make America think. You got this, you got that in the background, and that describes who you are. But no, I am the stereotypical Black girl. I just do not take on those attributes because that's not me. I am not my surroundings. I'm not a statistic. I'm a human. And I decided for myself, I'm going to stop making excuses and just go forward. If I fail, cool. Then I know what not to do the next time I try again. Straight like that. And we got to talk about it. We have to talk about it because if we don't, young girls are going to grow up and think that this woman is strong and don't need no man. And then they're going to think they strong and don't need no man when you do. When you decide to have children with somebody or you decide to give somebody that part of you, it is important and you should care about who you're giving it to. Period. Look at Chelly doing makeup. She's doing her tutorial on my show.
that's what I'm thinking.
Well, you know what? I think I need a little bit more mascara right here too. You know what I mean? Maybe my little beard or something. But yeah.
Let me clear it up. I was literally in the middle of a makeup tutorial. Remember, I told you after I talked to you, I was like,
hey, yeah, you did.
So then I forgot that I committed to this law enforcement show. And the girl hit me up and I was like, oh shit, I didn't have lashes. I was like, hold on, let me glue these lashes on real quick. So I did it with half the face. So I'm like, I'm sitting here looking crazy. So I'm like, I might as well do it while you guys are talking, you know? 2 birds with one stone.
Kill it. If I could narrate, I would, but I suck. I tried to do it and I didn't know what. I didn't know what was what. I was a fish out there like, huh? This goes where? What is that black thing? They were laughing at me. That was dead serious.
I heard that.
Ladarius, you should join the show one day. I guarantee you we have more in common than you think we do. I'm saying what every American wants, whether you're Black, white, Asian, Puerto Rican, Mexican, doesn't matter. Everybody wants to have their own freedoms. Everybody wants to be able to raise their children how they see fit. Everybody wants to be able to practice whatever religion they subscribe to. Everybody wants to just provide for their families and live. I'm just talking about how we
a lot of them
get
want to
there.
live off of the backs of everybody else, though.
They do.
And that's what
There
they've
are some
been
people
doing,
like
and that's
that.
what the Democrats teach people to do. They want the handouts.
Because they have to keep feeding them so that they can keep getting their votes.
Yep.
That is, I mean, but see, that's not the way to live, though. That's the reason why Trump was so popular. He got out of everybody's way. He was like, yo, he opened the door to Fort Knox. He's like, look at all this money. You can have as much as you want, but you got to make it yourself.
Facts.
Oh, I agree that that's not the way to live. That's not what I was saying at all. But I was agreeing in the sense.
Instead of taking the crumbs with stipulations.
Correct.
Facts, man. You said it.
Like,
Stop taking condoms with stipulations.
You're selling your soul. You're selling your soul to the devil. I agree with that 100%.
I'm gonna play a little bit
You know
more
what
of
I
this.
mean? And this is
And
coming
then,
from a person that was
actually-
tap dancing and whistling and singing when Obama got elected. And then I was like, yeah, we got a black president. And then the next year I was like, no, we got a black president.
Wait, Jonathan, bro, you're killing me. If y'all want to follow this lady from Kevin's show, follow her IG. Her name is Tamika. Doing me, my son, my king, happy without what's his name, Boss Chick Jenkins.
Jonathan comes up with the
What
greatest
boss
shit.
chick at? I need a boss chick. She gonna pay my bills?
She might if she's a Democrat.
Yeah, I'll make the food. I'll put the kids at the bus stop.
Oh my god.
Shoot.
Let me
Go
see
to
what
my
else she's
Patreon.
talking
I'll switch it
about.
up.
That's the problem I have with so much of this position. It's always about you. Because I'm going to ask, before your first child, was there cheating and abuse?
No,
Was there either?
no.
After the first
I
child? was
didn't.
there-
I would tell you this. I was not aware of the
Bitch.
What was that?
She
last
just
word she
she
said?
just messed up. You messed up. You messed up. I
I
almost
watch
felt
these
bad
videos,
for her.
man.
I
Yo,
almost felt bad
I
for her.
swear.
Ooh.
When the first child was born, was there abuse?
Yes.
What?
Was
Hold
there
up,
cheating?
hold up.
After,
No.
was there either?
No.
After the first
I
child?
didn't.
was there-
I would tell you this. I was not aware of the
After the
cheating.
first child was born, was there abuse?
Yes.
Was there cheating?
Yes.
Then did you require him to have any kind of therapy?
Yes.
Did he get it?
No, he didn't.
Okay, so
And
you
did
did
not
not.
take it serious.
So ma'am, you did not require it because you had another baby with him.
I left him. Okay. I left him for 1 year. We broke
Okay.
up for a year.
All
We
right.
separated because
Right.
I was that serious. And after that year that we separated, he told me, hey, I got some help, I'm a better person now.
Did you
Let's
verify
start
he got help?
over. Yeah, I fell for the okie doke.
No. I'm asking, did you verify that he got the help?
No, I didn't.
Okay,
I didn't
so ma'am,
verify I
so
got
let me
the
stop
help.
right here. The ma'am, even if I give you the benefit of the doubt that you had one child, you were young, and the abuse and cheating started afterwards, you did not require better treatment before you went back and had another baby. So you knew what.
I can't, bro. She told on herself. She told on herself. I can't. Dog.
Hey, man,
why
just throw my
y'all-
flag up. Throw
Why
my
y'all-
flag up real quick. Like, Trump, West Side.
Why does she do that? Now, I'm not saying that some women can't take an abusive person back, but you just said how strong you were, lady. And then you said, I was that serious, I left. So did you make sure he was
You gotta
straight when he came
understand.
back? No, you didn't. You know you didn't.
Let me give you, Sony, let me give you the man point of view from this black perspective real quick. Because
Okay.
they love an aggressive man. I could tell you, I could be honest with you. I mean, and I did this not knowing I was doing it. It was just me being me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, yo, I'm just like, okay, they like it when I'm just like half spoken, not giving them all the info that they require of me, or just telling them what to do, and just brushing them off, and they like that shit. They really like that shit. And then when you submit, when a man submits to a woman, that's when the shit goes left field. And when you give them the ability to control your narrative, which you should never do, that's when they start acting up. They act up like, okay, like they like the aggressive man because they trying to figure him out. It's like a challenge or some shit. And I'm quoting Kevin Samuels. I forgot who I just got finished listening to, but I've lived and experienced this. and I didn't know I was doing it until I've heard somebody else put it into words. I'm like, oh, really? Yeah, damn, I was doing that. Jesus, I had no idea. And then when you play the guy that's gonna bend over backwards, you're like, okay, well, there's nothing else I can learn here. I'm gonna use you for what I can get and go to the next man.
Wow.
And 9 times out of 10 is somebody you know that you've seen and walked past and had conversations with.
Whew. Women out here thotting and bopping. Dang. Y'all here thotting and bopping, and you wonder why you looked at his thoughts. Well, that's how you carry yourself. That's crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, I
you
kind
know,
of.
they want the good. My bad. My apologies. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I kind of assumed that. I kind of assumed that guys. This is something else that Kevin Samuels brought up. He said men control access to relationships, and women control access to sex.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, a man is going to come after you because of what you offer. So if that's what you offer, you can't get mad when a guy has a string of women that's just like, oh, yep, you can just come and pump and jump on me whenever you want and then dip out. And then you wonder why every guy's like that. It's because you allow it. You control access to sex.
Excuse me.
Make somebody respect you before you lay down with them. Like straight like that. If they don't want to wait, peace, bro. Bye.
I'm in the dirty. I mean, I done had a known false flagging rape accusation knock on my door today. You know what I mean? I mean, she's known of this shit. I ain't gonna say her name. And she was here today. She knocked on my door. She's like, boo, 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 boo. I'm like, what up? I'm like, what you want? And he asked me for miscellaneous bullshit shit, you know, hood activity. I'm in the hood. I want to be Pacific. You feel me? I'm not gonna say no names or give certain situations, but this was literally today. And wow. I had it up to here to the point where I'm done with the bullshit. Right? I'm not dealing with you bras. And then it's just the bras in this area. And at the same time, what I know that she's known for, you know, first time, shame on me. Shame on her. Second time, shame on me. So I'm not going to invite a bad situation. It didn't work out before. And me thinking it's going to work out again, it's just detrimental to my well-being and my livelihood. And I know what she's capable of. I know what she's done, and I know what she can do. And me putting myself in that situation is not good for my anything.
Yeah. But you know what, Jay? At least you recognize that, and you're not going to set yourself up for failure.
Well, honestly. I'm going to be honest. I've done it most. Let me just be honest with you real quick, because I'm just now getting to that point where I'm fed up. But it's been, a year ago in the same situation that I'm in now. I'm just now getting to the point where I'm fed up with the bullshit. But
I got you.
I let it go and repeated the process more times than I should have let it or done it. You feel me?
Yeah, I got you.
And I'm just being honest.
Thank you for
I should
coming
have cut
on.
it out back then. I'm just now to the point where no, I'm done.
Facts. Well, thank you for coming on. I'm gonna start playing another section.
Get back to the show. You gonna do some more Kevin Samuels?
I'm gonna do Hassan Campbell because he put up a really dope video today. So you'll see.
All right, well, make sure you play that lion joint next time you catch a bitch. Excuse my language. Just play that lion joint for me one time when you catch one, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Yo, Jay is funny. I always see him in the comments. It's nice to put a face to the name, but at least he can acknowledge, like, man, I didn't put myself in this situation so many fucking times, and now I'm good. I'm straight. I'm about to wake up. So I can respect that. At least somebody is honest about their ish, man. Yeah, so many people are in denial.
Well,
100%.
People really are. And I think, like, for myself, like, I've been through things, right? It is what it is. It's from coming from a broken home. It's from not knowing what you're looking for. Like, it literally is. And then I think, like, I've been through domestic violence, etc. And I think like I started looking at it and I was like, wait, why are you accepting these things? Like, why are you allowing these things? What are we missing here? Like, I had to be accountable for what roles I played in that. You know what I mean?
Facts.
And it goes for the same with everyone. So like it has nothing to do with race, even though there's predominantly a favoring matter when you start looking at it. But you have guys doing the same thing. You have women doing the same thing, regardless of race. It doesn't matter. And so that's why I put some accountability on men. Like, dude, you're thinking with the wrong head. Stop it.
It's true. It's true,
what
man.
Are you doing at the bar every night, and you're trying to pick up a woman for that night? What are you doing? Is that going to work out good for you?
Facts. Can I just listen? Chelly does makeup. Okay, you have asked at least 15 times. I counted. Leave Chelly alone. If you don't wear makeup, then don't wear makeup. But comment on the show and stop commenting on Chelly doing her makeup. Holy smokes.
I'm distracting them. I'm sorry.
Chelly, why are you doing makeup? Chelly, I don't wear makeup. Chelly, why are you doing your makeup? Hey, I don't wear makeup. Okay. Don't wear the makeup. But Chelly does.
Sorry, Suni.
No, you're
I need
perfect.
to take some lessons from Chelly.
Facts.
I need to put some makeup on.
She's doing makeup because she want to do makeup. Why?
I was literally in the middle of a live, and then I had another commitment, and then Suni sent me this. So I was like, well, while they're talking, I'll just finish the rest of my face.
Do your makeup, girl.
I'm sorry.
You're good.
Girl. Now you know. Leave her alone. This is Hassan Campbell. There are things that I agree. Look at Ladarius. Look, if you want me to turn up, okay, maybe ask again, and I might turn this shit upside down. Now let me stop. I'm just kidding. I mess with the viewers. They understand my humor, but I'm kidding. No, but seriously, don't ask again because I'll kick you off.
I'm sorry.
This guy, he did. I learned about him probably been like 15 years ago when he was talking about Africa Bambaataa and how he was sexually assaulting and molesting young Black men in a neighborhood that would join the Zulu Nation. Once again, horrible representation of the Black community. This was a popular group back in I'm pretty sure the 70s and the 80s, African Bambaataa, but he exposed it. And he's talking about all the sexual things that were happening to children in the hood under these rappers and in Hollywood. So if you like that kind of stuff, follow Hassan Campbell. He's dope. Like, he's thorough with the information. But this one caught my attention because you can see him have a real aha moment as he's talking about this 3-year-old who was shot on his birthday, playing outside on a corner. Shot. And you don't have BLM or, a nation saying his name. You just don't see it. But this video, it really touched my heart, and it made me want to get on here and talk about Black representation is the way it is because we allow it to be. We can take control of how we're represented, but it comes with work. And it comes with just being real. So I'm going to play this. I'm not going to play all of it, but I'm going to play a little bit of it. And you guys can let me know what you think. Can you hear it? I hope I share the audio. Okay.
There used to be a time where I said, I don't wish jail on anybody. I don't want to see nobody go to jail. I never thought, because there was a time I was in jail wanting to get out. And I hated rats, snitches, because I was brainwashed by the streets. Can somebody please explain to me how a 3-year-old loses his life at his own birthday party. If I'm not mistaken, they're saying this was his own birthday party, but it doesn't even matter. When I sit up there and I say, he got his snot box rocked, he got his TV turned off, understand something. It's only because nobody cares. And these are the techniques that I have to use to make somebody care. Can somebody please explain to me how we let the world get so bad, our world, after 400 years of some of the worst things that a people could actually go through, is what we went through. How we come out of that, and we doing each other worse than the slave master. I just need to understand this. I need to know how we allowed little Elijah to lose his little beautiful soul at a birthday party. They're saying it was his own birthday party. Can you please explain to me how we got the world watching and worshiping these rappers, grown men who live they full lives, and everybody's in tears? And this is no disrespect to none of the great rappers that we lost. Shout out to DMX, may he rest in peace. Black Rob, Mr. Humpty Hump Shot G, may they all rest in peace. But how is it that the world is not in tears when a baby loses his spark?
That video put so many things into perspective for me. As much as I hate talking about slavery because I feel like we have evolved from it, what this dude is saying is we came from brutality only to brutalize our own. Black representation is demonic and evil at this point in time, in this period, in this portion of American history. When people look back and they look at the different demographics, we are going to be known for murdering, raping, aborting, spreading disease. What type of history are we leaving behind for our kids? Like what example? What representation?
Of course I can't speak because I'm black, but I'm going to see stuff. But it's when we're looking at these situations, let's look at where we're putting ourselves. And when we're starting to make decisions in our life, where is that going to lead us? We don't have to go back and hold on to where we came from. We can look at how we're going to go forward. For example, the same situation we just talked about with the girl with Kevin Samuels. She made choices of having kids before marriage. One of her relationships sounded like it was decent.
Mm-hmm.
She couldn't claim there was any abuse or anything. What was the other things that Kevin Samuels rambled off? The first relationship sounded like it just needed compromise and teamwork. Yeah. Don't know everything, but if we are starting to look at how we're going to make progress in this world today, anybody, I don't care what color you are, red, black, brown, purple, green, yellow, whatever. If we can start looking at our situation and where we're at and where we want to be instead of focusing on our past,
Mm-hmm.
we will be better. Period.
Fact. I watched this whole video and I didn't move. I was like, wow. It's been a while since someone has like said something it's facts, bro. We cry and whine about slavery. The slave master did this to us. You will hear so many Black folks talk about this stuff and will turn the blind eye to a 3-year-old that got killed on a corner on his birthday.
No one's yelling Jocelyn.
3 years on the planet.
No one's yelling Jocelyn's name.
Jaslyn.
Jaslyn Adams.
Jaslyn Adams. No.
No one's saying her name. They're still saying
No
Micaiah
one
Ryan's
is-
name. And I'm like, what the frick is wrong with you people?
They're still talking about Adam Toledo.
Yeah, they said
But
that again today.
You have not heard anything about Jocelyn Adams except for the arrest of the person who shot her. That's what
Yep.
they're talking. And the only reason she's even being talked about right now, well, she's not even being talked about today. But the only reason it was talked about yesterday was because the police caught an offender.
Yep.
Otherwise,
And you know what Black
there's no
folks
one-
did, Charlie? You know what Black folks did? Oh, well, he's going to go to jail anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. They
Wow.
didn't do that. They didn't do that with Derek Chauvin. Like, oh, he's going to go to jail. So they're still doing what they're doing.
March for a full year. A full year. Nonstop. We had to hear about George Floyd. But Jaslyn, Natalia, there's so many kids. King, shot to death by a 12-year-old. 13-year-old shot dead by a 12-year-old. And we don't even hear his name.
And who is that? I don't want to say it was like a 7-year-old that was out riding a bike with his cousins that the black guy came out and shot him because the kid was.
That was Cannon Hinnett.
Yeah.
And he was 5.
And he was 5.
He was 5 years old. And what did they say? He's going to jail anyway.
Yep.
I'm like, he should be going to the cemetery.
For real.
We want everybody to be treated equally, and no one is calling. Everyone's calling for. They're not calling for equality amongst people. It's biased and it's misled. And I'm going to say, and I'm going to give a little bit of an out here. It's misled by the media where we started this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming from the people on TV that are giving you the information that you are starting to digest and believe this is the whole story.
Facts, man. I'm going to play some more of this video because he said so many things that like hit home for me. And I'm like, I need to get on here and explain why I go so hard, because I love America, number one. Wait, I love God. Okay. My family, my husband, and I love my country. And I do love the community that I came from, because whether we like it or not, there's so many different cultures. America's so diverse. And a lot of us are the same, especially when you live in a certain portion of your state, your city, the country. You just identify with that. You can relate to it. So I can relate to the place that a lot of Black folks are in right now. But what I won't do is sit back and allow you to sit there and make excuses. I can't do that. I can't tell you. You can ask Shelly how bad I just want to be able to stop talking about all the negative parts. I don't want to get up here and do this. You think Candace Owens wants to take all the backlash of being called a coon, a sellout, for simply pointing out things that are actually happening? Kind of like Trump. He came into the White House and was like, bro, look, their money and their laundry money and over here, cleaning money over here. You got child trafficking over there. Your FBI is crooked. Candace Owens, bro, we can't read. We can't read. We don't have fathers in the home. We're killing each other. No, we're not. That's a white man's talking point. What? We've gone too far, man. Like, we seriously haven't. It's sad, bro.
And if you call them on it, you're a racist.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. If you call them on it, you're a racist. For you, I got you, like, for anyone who's Black who doesn't think like that, you're a coon, you're an Uncle Tom. For people like me, because my skin is white, I'm colonized. I was like, well,
I'm gonna play some more of this.
When you hear a child say, "Mama, Dad,
Can you
Dad,"
hear it?
he didn't even pass those stages. He was 3. How was it that I watched protests and riots rock America
Facts, bro.
for grown dope fiends
Thank you.
on fentanyl? Riots, tearing stores down, buildings down. Somebody please explain to me, how is it that a 3-year-old baby, 3-year-old, you can still hold toddler, 3-year-old, you put them on your shoulder, you tap their back, you rock them back and forth, you put them to sleep. I just need to know, how is this okay? And how is it that this whole country ain't in an uproar behind 3-year-old Elijah? So we wait for the paid activists to activate to get their budget. That's the only time we're gonna
Bruh,
fight.
tell me this dude ain't spitting straight facts. Straight facts.
100%. He's not. Like, he is 100% on facts. Sorry. Like, look, we've been saying this for months.
You're about to get kicked off because you're gonna piss me off. You're gonna piss me off, bro.
I don't even understand that comment.
Oh, you muted, Chelly. There you go.
I was like, wait, where is it? I missed it. I was looking something up for you.
This right here. This is a problem. You are the representation. I'm not going to say you represent that, but you're doing what the left does. We're talking about a little boy who was murdered 2 days ago. Cannon Hennett, rest in peace. He already had his time. I already mentioned him. Don't bring that white black shit here, bro. Like real rap. I'm not even playing with you. Don't do that. Don't do that when we're in a positive atmosphere where everybody can see where he's coming from. We can see a problem. We can't ignore the problem. There is a problem in the black community with violence and gangs. Period. If you don't want to hear about it, tonight is not the stream for you. Understand me when I tell you this. My patience is this big.
They just posted another comment. What about white people? We named white people.
Goofy, bro.
Children in America, we go crazy behind and start tearing the country up over dudes that beat their parents up, dudes that's on drugs. We go crazy over them, but not the babies. I just need to understand. Or we gonna come with this stupid concept of, well, most likely the police is gonna arrest them. So that's it. So it's okay. We're not going to do nothing to change the energy that makes it okay for kids to go to McDonald's with their daddies. We're not going to do nothing to change the energy of little girls getting hit 6 years old, 7 years old, getting 6 shots. And all she wanted was a Happy Meal. What is it going to take? It's sad. Because this country, a lot of people now, Y'all don't like Charleston White. I see through Charleston White. He sat back and seen a country full of foul, fake people. This man that went and fought for kids to get them out of prison, to stop them from getting their TVs turned off from the nightmares that's running around Chicago, St. Louis, Detroit, the A, now in Miami. This dude sat up there and created a whole character. Rat Williams. This man created a whole character because he realized the world didn't care about the work that he was doing for these children. So now he acts like a nana and a boo-boo to get your attention because you don't care. And y'all mad at him because he disrespected celebrities, rappers that were drug addicts. No disrespect to the great DMX. I love DMX. But y'all mad at that. But he couldn't get the attention of you to save these children.
He just goes into the guy that he's talking about, Charleston White. If you want to follow him, his name is Hassan Campbell. Hassan Campbell. It's right here. I'm going to make it a little bigger for everybody to see. Go follow him. I would love to sit down and have a whole conversation with him about culture and about the community, bro, because we got ignorant ass people like this that perpetuate the stereotypes that the media sets before white people, because you're white, ma'am. And the second I don't talk about black folks in a negative light, I'm starting to know this. The second I don't talk about them in a negative light, or I want to show sympathy and bring attention to an issue, some of you have an issue. That's sad to me. Don't ever cry about somebody calling you racist because of your comments in a comment section when you do ridiculous things like this. And with that being said, thank you for watching as long as you did, but I will not have you on this channel. So goodbye.
It's kind of sad. They were, like we talked about a little bit before, they are listening to respond, not listening to understand. Because we mentioned that person's name. I called it out because I was like, wait, what about this kid too? And you called the name out. I couldn't remember his name. And it was there. It was said. It was talked about. Stop playing ignorance and being like, oh, you never talk about them. No, we did. And by the way, and it was in a lot of other shows in the past too.
Thank you.
It wasn't just now. So stop. Like, guys, like, it doesn't matter that every Americans matter.
Yep.
That's it. Americans matter.
Whew. What do you got for us, Chelly? I don't think she can hear me. Oh, she can.
I could. No, I was counting something. So remember I told you that I follow a lot. I follow the deaths of kids in Chicago because that's where I live. So I do follow a lot of them. So I keep a list. Like I did this list. You can see the date. It's listed up there. April.
Yeah. April 7, 2021.
And this is just kids, mind you. Wait, it's not done.
Kids, bro.
And then right now, I was like, I haven't updated it since that date. So these are the kids since that date. And people think that we don't have problems in our own neighborhoods. Like people always want to point out other stuff, right?
Yep.
Suni points out what's wrong in her community. because she's lived that life. I point out what's wrong in my community because I lived that life. I know it. I still live in the hood. Like literally, I could tell you in the last 2 weeks, the night before last, there was about 15 gunshots right outside the front door. A week and a half before that, my cameras caught a murder that happened walking distance at the end of my alley. And my cameras actually were able to catch the vehicle and the plate number, and they have somebody in custody for it. But so I know what I'm talking about when I tell you guys, like, I live this. I know what the mentality is here. And that's not because of my profession, because I'm a resident. I was born and raised.
Yep.
So when I take these lists, because last year it really touched me when it was the worst year for kids getting killed. And right now we are about to surpass it.
We are.
In Chicago, and that's just Chicago. Like, I really want to do something where I look for all the kids all over the United States of America, because a lot of people are all kids matter, right? But so many people were worried when Trump was in office about kids in cages. And I'm like, what about the kids you have right here?
Thank you.
That are hungry, that are abused, that are starving, and some of them are your family's kids, your neighbor kids, your neighborhood kids, and you don't say a word. Like, the thing that bothers me the most about people is hypocrisy. I do not like hypocrisy at all. And if we're going to talk about something, let's talk about it then. Don't use things when it's convenient for you. Just like you're marching, hey, you're protesting, you're doing all this stuff for Black Lives Matter, except I could tell you on this list, there's 27 kids right now. And we are not even out of April in Chicago. There are 27 children on this list right now. And you know what the majority of those kids are?
Black and Latino.
Correct. So when people talk about people of color matter, when do they really matter? Because to me, they matter all the time. You know what matters to me? The kids' names on this list who didn't have a gun in their hand, that are sitting and as a passenger in their parents' car, have no idea even what gangbanging is.
Yep.
They're just victims of circumstance. Those are the names on this list matter. And when people tell me that that's not what Black Lives Matter is about, then I tell you, you're a fucking hypocrite and you're part of the problem. Because these children, they matter to me. And they should matter to each and everybody out there, period. This is just Chicago, and we're in April. 27 kids already murdered in our streets. People of color, because, you know, in this day and age, we only care about people of color, right? That's what the talk is. Only people of color matter. Nobody else matters. Well, guess what? I have a list. And there's...
Yeah. A kid was killed at a party and nobody at the party will talk.
Exactly.
Nope. It makes me sad. But you know what? It also makes me grind harder because I'm never going to stop. I don't care if you don't want to hear about it. I really don't. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to respectfully put you in your place and block you, just like I did Navy wife. Bye. If Black Lives Matter, then all of them better matter. And if you're saying Black Lives Matter and I don't see any one of these children on your list, you could best believe I'm calling you out. I'm tired of people using the black plight. I say this all the time. I'm tired of people using the black plight. I'm tired of people using black skin to push for pieces of legislation that don't fucking affect us, to push agendas for a group that represents less than 1% of the population, I will say. Civil rights? What's that got to do with LGBTQ? And why are you constantly using black people as a stepping stone? That's really what it is. So essentially, they can be annoyed, but call it out across the board. Stop using it. Stop using it and do something about it. Because I'm tired of talking about dead kids. I'm
100%.
tired of talking about dead young black men to gang violence. These rappers that leave that community only to bring it to where they are. How many dead rappers have we had in the year 2020? And all of them under the age of 30.
Exactly.
And most of them from Chicago.
Mm-hmm. But you want to tell me that there's not a culture problem? There's not a problem in our neighborhoods? Like, we don't look at that, right? Like, we don't look at that. No one's looking at that. And that's the shit that literally it's under my skin. Like, for me in my career, like, I can handle everything. I've seen everything. The one thing that has always like hit different was crimes against children. And I'm talking about before this even became a big issue, where kids are getting shot in our, like, these little babies getting shot in our streets, right? That's always been an issue. I respond to something and the child is abused sexually or physically. And I'm looking at these babies and I'm thinking, like, what is wrong with you people? Like, this is not fucking normal, and we cannot continue to make it normal. And we do. And you don't hear about it. The media pisses me off because they stir the pot so much.
Yep.
But, like, okay, we all know the name Adam Toledo, right? We all know that name, right? Did you guys, because you guys live in different states, did you guys hear the name Lydia Jimenez?
Mm-mm.
So she was shot and killed. She is 17 years old in the same neighborhood Adam Toledo was killed in.
Wow, I didn't hear about that.
Exactly. Why wasn't her name blasted? Because it's such a problem. You hear about what they want you to hear about. And this is kind of the point of what all three of us talk about all the time. Do not be fooled by what they want you to believe.
Yeah.
Do not be fooled by it, because they will have you believing that the police are out here killing innocent kids because they have nothing better to do with their day, because crime in Chicago is down. No, literally, or any other state, even your guys' states, whatever, like, the problem is in your states. The media will have you fooled. The media will have you believing that that's what police are doing, because that's what you're seeing, and you're hearing it over and over and over and over and over again. If you take a little kid and you start telling them something over and over and over again, they're going to grow up believing that.
Yeah.
It is literally mind screwing people. It is mind screwing people, which is why we are so passionate about talking to you guys and bringing you real news, because otherwise you're not going to get it.
Facts, man.
You're not going to get it.
Charlotte, because you said our cities and our states, North Carolina has an extremely high homicide rate, especially in areas, rural areas, it's in metropolitan areas, like the city I lived in, Goldsboro. There's a murder every day. It was a murder every day, a shooting every day. There, you never saw the mayor. You never saw any of the city leaders coming together. Police, you really didn't hear from them either. And you look at Charlotte. My mother lives in the suburbs of Matthews. It used to be. Now it's kind of turned a little bit hood. I'm not even gonna lie. Charlotte has changed so much. But I was just visiting my mom this past Christmas, 2 years ago. And me and my husband were doing DoorDash. We drive past a common location. We go past there. Like 10, 15 minutes later, we came back down that street. Police are lined up. And we're like, dang, what happened? Like, what's happening over here? Why is all these police here? Because I'm telling you, it's not a place where police show up. Somebody was shot not even 15 minutes later before I left the area, down the street from my mom's house. If you live in North Carolina, you know Matthews area. Matthews used to be nice. Matthews is overrun by crime and just unsavvy characters walking around. It even looks ratchet now. Parts of Charlotte look disgusting. There's tent cities everywhere. Roy Cooper is terrible, bro. The worst governor ever. You're in Charlotte. See? So you know the west side of town is lit. You go over to W.T. Harris. You get over there downtown off of 7th Street. I know where all the spots is at. Trust me. I used to be running the streets a little bit. But it's concentrated to those areas, and then it spreads like wildfire, and nobody does anything about it. I can't tell you a black activist ever that I've heard of in Charlotte, and I've been living there for almost 20 years.
Here I am in white Utah. I don't know what to say other than we like to shoot animals, go hunting, yeah, those things.
Well,
but-
at least it's not kids.
right? It still happens here though.
Look, you see what he said? Look what he said. I'm not lying, bro. The west side is straight up niggas, bro. If you going over there, you better get in and get out.
Right. So to touch on a little bit of what Shelly was saying, like she was describing the Dunning-Kruger effect. If no one understands what that is, go look it up. Dunning-Kruger effect is you lie to yourself enough, you actually believe it is true. Pretty much.
Yeah.
And that is what we're starting to see because it's repeated so much in media and so much in our face and so much put in front of you. You are starting to believe it is truth.
Facts, man.
And Dunning-Kruger effect is something that is just wiping out people. I don't understand how, but the media has got it nailed for some reason. They have it figured out on how to do it.
I agree.
It's crazy. But the shootings and stuff that you guys are talking about, yeah, those are very unfortunate. Absolutely.
Sucks,
they should
man.
not be happening.
But you know what? We can change this by holding these city leaders accountable, by placing your vote where it belongs, that is going to provide for your communities, because we're responsible for it. We are. These government officials don't live where we live. They don't walk the same streets we walk. They don't work the same jobs we work. They live away from the community that they're supposed to be representing. So it is our job to police our own communities in a sense. I'm not talking about kicking the police out. I'm talking about holding people accountable. If you see somebody that is wanted, bruh, I'm calling the folks on you. I don't care. If I know you to committed a murder and I see you, bro, you going to jail. Why leave you out to commit more murders? You have no compassion for human life. But since people have been asking, I'm going to get off. But I think people should sit and take a listen to Malcolm X. This is the most iconic speech that I've ever heard. And I've listened to a lot of speeches. It's better than Martin Luther King. And that's saying a lot. He believed in producing for your own communities, and so do I. He didn't believe in sitting back and crying about the white man. You know what the white man is going to do. You know what the white liberal is about. So vote around it. He said, why is NC red and Cooper still there? There is some talk about Cooper possibly having some funny business going on with the voting. So we'll see what's happening with Charlotte. But thank you guys for hanging out with us. If you want to, you can stay tuned. I'm going to play this video, and this is called The Ballot or the Bullet. It's Malcolm X. You're probably going to want to listen. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And remember, okay, Black representation is negative, but we can change that. We can change it. And I hope we all change it. I hope everybody comes together for a common fight and realizes that.
Reverend Clee and Milton, brothers and sisters and friends, and I see some enemies. fact, I think we'd be fooling ourselves if we had an audience this large and didn't realize that there were some enemies present. This afternoon, we want to talk about the ballot or the bullet. The ballot or the bullet explains itself. But before we get into it, since this is the year of the ballot or the bullet, I would like to clarify some things that refer to me personally concerning my own personal position. I'm still a Muslim. That is, my religion is still Islam. My religion is still Islam. I still credit Mr. Muhammad for what I know and what I am. He's the one who opened my eyes. And at present, I'm the minister of the newly founded Muslim Mosque Incorporated, which has its offices in the Teresa Hotel right in the heart of Harlem. That's the Black Belt in New York City. And when we realize that Adam Clayton Powell is a Christian minister, he has the Abyssinia Baptist Church, but at the same time, he's more famous for his political struggling. And Dr. King is a Christian minister from Atlanta, Georgia, or in Atlanta, Georgia, but he's become more famous for being involved in the civil rights struggle. There's another in New York, Reverend Galamison. I don't know if you've heard of him out here. He's a Christian minister from Brooklyn, but has become famous for his fight against the segregated school system in Brooklyn. Reverend Cleage, right here, is a Christian minister here in Detroit. He's the head of the Freedom Now Party. All of these are Christian ministers. All of these are Christian ministers, but they don't come to us as Christian ministers. They come to us as fighters in some other category. I'm a Muslim minister. The same as they are Christian ministers, I'm a Muslim minister. And I don't believe in fighting today in any one front, but on all fronts. In fact, I'm a black nationalist freedom fighter. Islam is my religion, but I believe my religion is my personal business. It governs my personal life, my personal morals, and my religious philosophy is personal between me and the God in whom I believe, just as the religious philosophy of these others is between them and the God in whom they believe. And this is best this way. Were we to come out here discussing religion, we'd have too many differences from the outstart, and we could never get together. So today, though Islam is my religious philosophy, my political, economic, and social philosophy is black nationalism. You and I... As I say, if we bring up religion, we'll have differences, we'll have arguments, we'll never be able to get together. But if we keep our religion at home, keep our religion in the closet, keep our religion between ourselves and our God, but when we come out here, we have a fight that's common to all of us against the enemy who is common to all of us. The political philosophy of black nationalism only means that the black man should control the politics and the politicians in his own community. The time when white people can come in our community and get us to vote for them so that they can be our political leaders and tell us what to do and what not to do is long gone. By the same token, the time when that same white man, knowing that your eyes are too far open, can send another Negro into the community, get you and me to support him so he can use him to lead us astray, those days are long gone. political philosophy of black nationalism only means that if you and I are going to live in a black community, and that's where we're going to live, because as soon as you move into as soon as you move out of the black community into their community, it's mixed for a period of time, but they are gone, and you're right there all by yourself. We must understand the politics of our community, and we must know what politics is supposed to produce. We must know what part politics play in our lives. And until we become politically mature, we will always be misled, led astray, or deceived or maneuvered into supporting someone politically who doesn't have the good of our community at heart. So the political philosophy of black nationalism only means that we will have to carry on a political program of re-education to open our people's eyes, make us become more politically conscious, politically mature. And then we will, whenever we get ready to cast our ballot, that ballot will be cast for a man of the community who has the good of the community at heart. And the economic philosophy of black nationalism only means that we should own and operate and control the economy of our community. You would never find, you can't open up a black store in a white community. White man won't even patronize you. And he's not wrong. He got sense enough to look out for himself. And you who don't have sense enough to look out for yourself. The white man is too intelligent to let someone else come and gain control of the economy of his community. But you will let anybody come in and control the economy of your community. Control the housing, control the education, control the jobs, control the businesses under the pretext that you want to integrate. No, you're out of your mind. The economic philosophy of black nationalism only means that we have to become involved in a program of re-education to educate our people into the importance of knowing that when you spend your dollar out of the community in which you live, the community in which you spend your money becomes richer and richer. The community out of which you take your money becomes poorer and poorer. And because these Negroes who have been misled, misguided, are breaking their necks to take their money and spend it with the man is becoming richer and richer, and you're becoming poorer and poorer. And then what happens? The community in which you live becomes a slum. It becomes a ghetto. The conditions become run down. And then you have the audacity to complain about poor housing in a rundown community. Why, you run it down yourself when you take your dollar out. And you and I are in a double trap, because not only do we lose by taking our money someplace else and spending it, when we try and spend it in our own community, we're trapped because we haven't had sense enough to set up stores and control the businesses of our community. The man who's controlling the stores in our community is a man who doesn't look like we do. He's a man who doesn't even live in the community. So you and I, even when we try and spend our money in the block where we live or the area where we live, we're spending it with a man who, when the sun goes down, takes that basket full of money in another part of the town. So we're trapped, double trapped, triple trapped. Anywhere we go, we find that we're trapped. And every kind of solution that someone comes up with is just another trap. But the political and economic philosophy of black nationalism, the economic philosophy of black nationalism shows our people the importance of setting up these little stores and developing them and expanding them into larger operations. Woolworth didn't start out big like they are today. They started out with a dime store and expanded and expanded and expanded until today they're all over the country and all over the world, and they're getting some of everybody's money. Now, this, what you and I in General Motors, the same way, didn't start out like it is. It started out just a little rat race type operation, and it expanded and expanded until today it's where it is right now. And you and I have to make a start. And the best place to start is right in the community where we live. So our people not only have to be re-educated to the importance of supporting black business, but the black man himself has to be made aware of the importance of going into business. And once you and I go into business, we own and operate at least the businesses in our community. What we will be doing is developing a situation wherein we will actually be able to create employment for the people in the community. And once you can create some employment in the community where you live, it will eliminate the necessity of you and me having to act ignorantly and disgracefully boycotting and picketing some cracker someplace else trying to beg him for a job. Anytime you have to rely upon your enemy for a job, you're in bad shape. He is your enemy. Anytime, you wouldn't be in this country if some enemy hadn't kidnapped you and brought you here. On the other hand, some of you think you came here on the Mayflower. So as you can see, brothers and sisters, today, this afternoon, it's not our intention to discuss religion. We're going to forget religion. If we bring up religion, we'll be in an argument. And the best way to keep away from arguments and differences, as I said earlier, put your religion at home, in the closet. Keep it between you and your God. Because if it hasn't done anything more for you than it has, you need to forget it anyway. Whether you are a Christian or a Muslim or a nationalist, we all have the same problem. They don't hang you because you're a Baptist, they hang you because you're black. They don't attack me because I'm a Muslim, they attack me because I'm black. They attack all of us for the same reason. All of us catch hell from the same enemy. We're all in the same bag, in the same boat. We suffer political oppression, economic exploitation, and social degradation. All of them from the same enemy. The government has failed us. You can't deny that. Anytime you live in the 20th century, 1964, and you walking around here singing, "We shall overcome," the government has failed. This is part of what's wrong with you. You do too much singing. Today it's time to stop singing and start swinging. You can't sing up on freedom, but you can swing up on some freedom. Cassius Clay can sing, but singing didn't help him to become the heavyweight champion of the world. Swinging helped him become the heavyweight. So this government has failed us. The government itself has failed us. And the white liberals who have been posing as our friends have failed us. And once we see that all these other sources to which we've turned have failed, we stop turning to them and turn to ourselves. We need a self-help program, a do-it-yourself philosophy, a do-it-right-now philosophy. It's already too late philosophy. This is what you and I need to get with. And the only way we're going to solve our problem is with a self-help program. Before we can get a self-help program started, we have to have a self-help philosophy. Black nationalism is a self-help philosophy. What's so good about it, you can stay right in the church where you are and still take black nationalism as your philosophy. You can stay in any kind of civic organization that you belong to and still take black nationalism as your philosophy. You can be an atheist and still take black nationalism as your philosophy. This is a philosophy that eliminates the necessity for division and argument. Because if you're black, you should be thinking black. And if you're black and you're not thinking black at this late date, well, I'm sorry for you. Once you change your philosophy, you change your thought pattern. Once you change your thought pattern, you change your attitude. Once you change your attitude, it changes your behavior pattern. And then you go on into some action. As long as you got a sit-down philosophy, you'll have a sit-down thought pattern. And as long as you think that old sit-down thought, you'll be in some kind of sit-down action. They'll have you sitting in everywhere. It's not so good to refer to what you're going to do as a sit-in. Then right there, castrates you. Right there, it brings you down. What goes with it? Think of the image of someone sitting. An old woman can sit. An old man can sit. A chump can sit. A coward can sit. Anything can sit. Well, you and I have been sitting long enough, and it's time today for us to start doing some standing and some fighting to back that up. When we look at other parts of this earth upon which we live, we find that black, brown, red, and yellow people in Africa and Asia are getting their independence. They're not getting it by singing, "We shall overcome." No, they're getting it through nationalism. It is nationalism that brought about the independence of the people in Asia. Every nation in Asia gained its independence through the philosophy of nationalism. Every nation on the African continent that has gotten its independence brought it about through the philosophy of nationalism. And it will take black nationalism that to bring about the freedom of 22 million Afro-Americans here in this country where we have suffered colonialism for the past 400 years. America is just as much a colonial power as England ever was. America is just as much a colonial power as France ever was. In fact, America is more so a colonial power than they, because she's a hypocritical colonial power behind it. What do you call second-class citizenship? Why, that's colonization. Second-class citizenship is nothing but 20th century slavery. How are you going to tell me you're a second-class citizen? They don't have second-class citizenship in any other government on this earth. They just have slaves and people who are free. Well, this country is a hypocrite. They try and make you think they set you free by calling you a second-class citizen. No, you're nothing but a 20th century slave. Just as it took nationalism to remove colonialism from Asia and Africa, it'll take black nationalism today to remove colonialism from the backs and the minds of 22 million Afro-Americans here in this country. And 1964 looks like it might be the year of the ballot or the bullet. Why does it look like it might be the year of the ballot or the bullet? Because Negroes have listened to the trickery and the lies and the false promises of the white man now for too long, and they're fed up. They've become disenchanted. They've become disillusioned. They've become dissatisfied. And all of this has built up frustrations in the black community that makes the black community throughout America today more explosive than all of the atomic bombs the Russians can ever invent. Whenever you got a racial powder keg sitting in your lap, you're in more trouble than if you had an atomic powder keg sitting in your lap. When a racial powder keg goes off, it doesn't care who it knocks out the way. Understand this, it's dangerous. And in 1964, this seems to be the year. Because what can the white man use now to fool us? After he put down that march on Washington, and you see all through that now, he tricked you, had you marching down to Washington. Yes, as you marching back and forth between the feet of a dead man named Lincoln and another dead man named George Washington, singing "We Shall Overcome." He made a chump out of you. He made a fool out of you. He made you think you were going somewhere, and you end up going nowhere but between Lincoln and Washington. So today our people are disillusioned. They've become disenchanted. They've become dissatisfied. And in their frustrations, they want action. And in 1964, you see this young black man, this new generation, asking for the ballot or the vote. That old Uncle Tom action is outdated. The young generation don't want to hear anything about the odds are against us. What do we care about odds? When this country here was first being founded, there were 13 colonies. The whites were colonized. They were fed up with this taxation without representation. So some of them stood up and said, liberty or death. Though I went to a white school over here in Mason, Michigan. The white man made the mistake of letting me read his history books. He made the mistake of teaching me that Patrick Henry was a patriot. And George Washington wasn't nothing nonviolent about old Pat or George Washington. Liberty or death was what brought about the freedom of whites in this country from the English. They didn't care about the odds. Why, they faced the wrath of the entire British Empire. And in those days, they used to say that the British Empire was so vast and so powerful when the sun would never set on it. This is how big it was. Yet these 13 little scrawny states, tired of taxation without representation, tired of being exploited and oppressed and degraded, told that big British Empire, liberty or death. And here you have 22 million Afro-American black people today catching more hell than Patrick Henry ever saw. And I'm here to tell you, in case you don't know it, that you got a new generation of black people in this country who don't care anything whatsoever about odds. They don't want to hear you old Uncle Tom handkerchief heads talking about the odds. No. This is a new generation. If they're going to draft these young black men and send them over to Korea or South Vietnam to face 800 million Chinese, if you're not afraid of those odds, you shouldn't be afraid of these odds. Why does this loom to be such an explosive political year? Because this is the year of politics. This is the year when all of the white politicians are going to come into the Negro community. You never see them until election time. You can't find them until election time. They're going to come in with false promises. And as they make these false promises, they're going to feed our frustrations. And this will only serve to make matters worse. I'm no politician. I'm not even a student of politics. I'm not a Republican, nor a Democrat, nor an American, and got sense enough to know it. I'm one of the 22 million black victims of the Democrats. one of the 22 million black victims of the Republicans, and one of the 22 million black victims of Americanism. And when I speak, I don't speak as a Democrat or a Republican, nor an American. I speak as a victim of America's so-called democracy. You and I have never seen democracy. All we've seen is hypocrisy. When we open our eyes today and look around America, we see America not through the eyes of someone who has enjoyed the fruits of Americanism. We see America through the eyes of someone who has been the victim of Americanism. We don't see any American dream. We've experienced only the American nightmare. We haven't benefited from America's democracy. We've only suffered from America's hypocrisy. And the generation that's coming up now can see it and are not afraid to say it. If you go to jail, so what? If you're black, you were born in jail. If you black, you were born in jail. In the North as well as the South. Stop talking about the South. Long as you south of the Canadian border, you're south. Don't call Governor Wallace a Dixie governor. Romney is a Dixie governor. "22 million black victims of Americanism are waking up, and they're gaining a new political consciousness, becoming politically mature. And as they develop this political maturity, they're able to see the recent trends in these political elections. They see that the whites are so evenly divided that every time they vote, the race is so close, they have to go back and count the votes all over again. And which means that any block, any minority that has a block of votes that stick together is in a strategic position. Either way you go, that's who gets it. You're in a position to determine who go to the White House and who stay in the doghouse. You're the one who has that power. You can keep Johnson in Washington, D.C., or you can send him back to his Texas cotton patch. You're the one who sent Kennedy to Washington. You're the one who put the present Democratic administration in Washington, D.C. The whites were evenly divided. It was the fact that you threw 80% of your votes behind the Democrats that put the Democrats in the White House. When you see this, you can see that the Negro vote is the key factor. And despite the fact that you are in a position to be the determining factor, what do you get out of it? The Democrats have been in Washington, D.C. only because of the Negro vote. They've been down there 4 years. And all other legislation they wanted to bring up, they brought it up and gotten it out of the way, and now they bring up you. And now they bring up you. You put them first and they put you last. Because you're a chump. A political chump. In Washington, D.C., in the House of Representatives, there are 257 who are Democrats. Only 177 are Republicans. In the Senate, there are 67 Democrats. Only 33 are Republicans. The party that you backed controls 2/3 of the House of Representatives and the Senate, and still they can't keep their promise to you because you're a chump. Anytime you throw your weight behind a political party that controls 2/3 of the government, and that party can't keep the promise that it made to you during election time, and you're dumb enough to walk around continuing to identify yourself with that party, you're not only a chump, but you're a traitor to your race. And what kind of alibi do they come up with? They try and pass the buck to the Dixiecrats. Now, back during the days when you were blind, deaf, and dumb, ignorant, politically immature, naturally you went along with that. But today, as your eyes come open and you develop political maturity, you're able to see and think for yourself. And you can see that a Dixiecrat is nothing but a Democrat in disguise. You look at the structure of the government that controls this country. It's controlled by 16 senatorial committees and 20 congressional committees. Of the 16 senatorial committees that run the government, 10 of them are in the hands of Southern segregationists. Of the 20 congressional committees that run the government, 12 of them are in the hands of Southern segregationists. And they're going to tell you and me that the South lost the war. You today are in the hands of a government of segregationists, racists, white supremacists, who belong to the Democratic Party but disguise themselves as Dixiecrats. A Dixiecrat is nothing but a Democrat. Whoever runs the Democrats is also the father of the Dixiecrats. And the father of all of them is sitting in the White House. I say, and I say it again, you got a president who's nothing but a Southern segregationist. From the state of Texas. They'll lynch you in Texas as quick as they'll lynch you in Mississippi. Only in Texas, they lynch you with a Texas accent. In Mississippi, they lynch you with a Mississippi accent. And the first thing the cracker does when he comes in power, he takes all the Negro leaders and invites them for coffee to show that he's all right. And those Uncle Toms can't pass up the coffee. They come away from the coffee table telling you and me that this man is all right because he's from the South. And since he's from the South, he can deal with the South. And look at the logic that they're using. What about Eastland? He's from the South. Make him the president. If Johnson is a good man because he's from Texas, and being from Texas will enable him to deal with the South, Eastland can deal with the South better than Johnson. Oh, I say, you've been misled. You've been had. You've been took. I was in Washington a couple of weeks ago while the senators were filibustering. And I noticed in the back of the Senate a huge map. And on this map, it showed the distribution of Negroes in America. And surprisingly, the same senators that were involved in the filibuster were from the states where there were the most Negroes. Why were they filibustering the civil rights legislation? Because the civil rights legislation is supposed to guarantee voting rights to Negroes in those states. And those senators from those states know that if the Negroes in those states can vote, those senators are down the drain. The representatives of those states go down the drain. And in the Constitution of this country, it has a stipulation wherein whenever the rights, the voting rights of people in a certain district are violated, then the representative who's from that particular district, according to the Constitution, is supposed to be expelled from the Congress. Now, if this particular aspect of the Constitution was enforced, why, you wouldn't have a cracker in Washington, D.C. But what would happen when you expel the Dixiecrat? You're expelling the Democrat. When you destroy the power of the Dixiecrat, you're destroying the power of the Democratic Party. So how in the world can the Democratic Party in the South actually side with you in sincerity when all of its power is based in the South? These Northern Democrats are in cahoots with the Southern Democrats. They're playing a giant con game, a political con game. You know how it goes. One of them comes to you and make believe he's for you. And he's in cahoots with the other one that's not for you. Why? Because neither one of them is for you. But they got to make you go with one of them or the other. So this is a con game. And this is what they've been doing with you and me all these years. First thing Johnson got off the plane when he became president, he asked, "Where's Dickie?" You know who Dickie is? Dickie is old Southern cracker Richard Russell. Look here. Yes. Lyndon B. Johnson's best friend is the one who is ahead, who's heading the forces that are filibustering civil rights legislation. You tell me, how in the hell is he going to be Johnson's best friend? How can Johnson be his friend and your friend too? No, that man is too tricky, especially if his friend is still old Dickie. Whenever the Negroes keep the Democrats in power, they're keeping the Dixiecrats in power. This is true. A vote for a Democrat is nothing but a vote for a Dixiecrat. I know you don't like me saying that, but I'm not the kind of person who come here to say what you like. I'm going to tell you the truth whether you like it or not. Up here in the North, you have the same thing. The Democratic Party don't do it. They don't do it that way. They got a thing that they call gerrymandering. They maneuver you out of power. Even though you can vote, they fix it so you're voting for nobody. They got you going and coming. In the South, they're outright political wolves. In the North, they're political foxes. A fox and a wolf are both canine. Both belong to the dog family. Now, you take your choice. You're going to choose a northern dog or a southern dog. Because either dog you choose, I guarantee you, you'll still be in the doghouse. This is why I say it's the ballot or the bullet. It's liberty or it's death. It's freedom for everybody or freedom for nobody. America today finds herself in a unique situation. Historically, revolutions are bloody. Oh, yes, they are. They have never had a bloodless revolution or a nonviolent revolution. That don't happen even in Hollywood. You don't have a revolution in which you love your enemy. then you don't have a revolution in which you are begging the system of exploitation to integrate you into. Revolutions overturn systems. Revolutions destroy systems. A revolution is bloody. But America is in a unique position. She's the only country in history in a position actually to become involved in a bloodless revolution. The Russian Revolution was bloody. Chinese Revolution was bloody. French Revolution was bloody. Cuban Revolution was bloody. And there was nothing more bloody than the American Revolution. But today, this country can become involved in a revolution that won't take bloodshed. All she's got to do is give the black man in this country everything that's due. Everything. I hope that the white man can see this. Because if you don't see it, you're finished. If you don't see it, you're going to become involved in some action in which you don't have a chance. We don't care anything about your atomic bomb. It's useless. Because other countries have atomic bombs. When 2 or 3 different countries have atomic bombs, nobody can use them. So it means that the white man today is without a weapon. If you want some action, you got to come on down to earth. And there's more black people on earth than there are white people on earth. I only got a couple more minutes. The white man can never win another war on the ground. His days of war victory, his days of background victory are over. Can I prove it? Yes. Take all the action that's going on this earth right now that he's involved in. Tell me where he's winning. Nowhere. Why some rice farmers, some rice eaters ran him out of Korea. Yes, they ran him out of Korea. Race eaters with nothing but gym shoes and a rifle and a bowl of rice. Took him and his tanks and his napalm and all that other action he's supposed to have and ran him across the Yalu. Why? Because the day that he can win on the ground is past. Up in French Indochina, those little peasants, rice growers, took on the might of the French army and ran all the Frenchmen. You remember Dien Bien Phu? No! The same